All right, we good? We live? We're live now.
Mm-mm.
We're a few minutes late, but that's mainly my fault because
Mm.
I had to refix my camera and do things and put out thingy majiggers. I had to put out like little notifications and stuff.
Mm-mm.
I was doing some laundry right before, so got things going today. We're doing Hatoful Boyfriend. We're gonna make it a better day.
Mm.
We're doing Ryota today. That's
Yeah.
the childhood friend. We're doing him.
Yeah, we're gonna do Rio to hard.
Totally. Yeah, it's gonna be super wholesome and totally not hard.
Mhm.
I actually don't know. I can't promise any of that. But yeah, we're gonna do Ryota
Mm.
and so let me I gotta put one boink, put it on the
Mm.
thingies because I didn't put it on
Yeah.
the degeneracy yet.
Damn.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Anyways, anyways, anyways. There was a little bit of sad news earlier.
Mm.
A little bit of sad news. It wasn't my favorite stuff. We got Jimmy Buffett and Steve Harwell have both passed away recently. I think Jimmy Buffett
Mm.
was over the weekend, and Harwell was specifically, I think, today, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
I mean, I just heard about it a few hours ago, and that wasn't. It's not my favorite thing that's happened, but burb time. We're gonna do burbs
Yeah,
once we.
birb.
We're gonna do burbs, and we're gonna do burbs for days. That's what we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do. Thank God the Twitter actually worked this time. I tried making a tweet earlier. The link was broken because it wouldn't link. But now
Oh,
there's a real link now.
hell yeah, hell
It's because
yeah.
the link that the YouTube gave me didn't work. I had to go on YouTube and use their link via watching the stream in order to do that.
Um,
I don't know why my eyes are all okay. Now I'm actually blinky. That's good. My
mm.
camera was being weird earlier too, but
Mm.
we're starting today. Um, Chuck was explaining to me because I had just said like how much music am I gonna listen to? Because like I'm not one of those newfangled kids that listens to every latest rap song and the garbage alternative rock that kind of is like after alternative rock after about like 2015 2016 has kind of gone downhill in
Mm.
my opinion. So I don't listen to a lot of the newfangled stuff. I don't know if people I don't know if people have any specific opinions on any of that, but we're gonna start with burbs here shortly. I don't want to start too soon because I want to let people get into chat.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
Well, I mean,
chat
don't we typically like skip around the first day anyway?
that's kind of true. That is
Um,
kind of true. I don't know how many
mm.
people. I don't know how many people be watching Bull Block. I think
Mm.
Bull Block. We got like 13 or so views. I was actually happy. Well,
Heck
it's not
yeah.
okay. Technically, it's not Bull Block anymore because the rule for Bull Block was about Bulbasaur, and I'm doing Generation 5. There's no Bulbasaur in Gen 5. But
Mm.
yeah, anyways. Anyhow, what should I wear today?
Oh, you could wear your Luffy hat.
Yeah, because the One Piece is real.
Yeah.
Let's
The
go.
live action came out, and I'm surprised because I've seen people saying it's really good.
Okay. I was up late doing a predictions video that I needed to get out that morning, but I need to get it out by the time the episode dropped, because otherwise it's not really quite fair to make a prediction video per se. So I made the prediction video,
Mm.
and it was good because I put it out at 3 a.m. and then it was like, or I had it scheduled to go out at 3 a.m. It was like 2:40 something when I finished putting up the page and the posting for it and everything to go live. And so I was like,
Mhm.
I just sat around. I'm like, oh man, I'm a little tired. But I was like, I wasn't that tired because I had built up all that steam and energy getting it done. So I was like, it comes out at 3 a.m. Why don't I give it a watch? At least the first episode. And I was amazed at how good it was, because
Hmm.
right off the bat, I loved it. Like I thought it was like so. It's difficult because of two things. Number one that's hard. One Piece is the kind of thing that is very easy to probably not do correctly. And
Mhm.
anime, easy to do something like that in anime. Manga translates into anime almost incredibly easily.
Yeah.
Thing number two that's difficult. So One Piece, you know, this series that putting it out to a Western audience, when they tried
Mm.
to do it for kids back in 2000, like if it had been like an Adult Swim type thing back in 2000, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But they're dubbed back in 2000. Some of the voice actors, I'm thinking specifically Luffy and Usopp, not maybe the best.
Mm.
Not maybe the best.
But to defend for kids a little in that, the dub to kids shows, because I tried to advertise it for kids, which kind of doesn't really make much sense in the grand scheme of One Piece. But
One Piece is
um,
not a kid show necessarily.
yeah, yeah, I would say it's more like it's not I would say it's more like 13 plus maybe, but
Eh.
somewhere around that range.
The material
Um,
covered is very heavy, even if you don't do like looking past certain things like the blood and gore, and then some of the
mm,
jokes or something. Like not a lot of the jokes really go that deep
mm,
that quickly, but I would say 13 plus for the series as a whole. Maybe
yeah,
I feel like the average Japanese kid watches One Piece.
yeah. Um, but and typically with kid shows, not even just anime per se, just kid shows in general, the dub and voice acting is usually pretty shit.
Well, so here's the thing: original Pokemon was not bad in
Mm,
my opinion. If I'm thinking about like OG
mm,
Pokemon, they had the Brock Kaiba voice, who's maybe one
yeah,
of my
yeah.
favorite voice actors of all time in terms of like performances, because he's able to do like it's intense but not like over dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's able to he does the snarky Kaiba stuff really well, and then he does all the Brock
Oh,
stuff, and Brock is almost always like sort of the perfect character that he needs to be. and
mm,
and then you have other people, and like the original Ash Ketchum wasn't like annoying, in the sense
mm,
that I kind of found him to be annoying later on.
yeah,
The original Misty wasn't super annoying. The original
yeah,
James was the best
yeah.
James.
I can get that.
Meowth was kind of like a good, like Meowth had that like insert Brooklyn accent here, sort of. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know if that
Mm-hmm.
one's Brooklyn as well, but it's kind of like a New Yorker type accent, you know.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got Joey Wheeler, and we got Sanji in Four Kids One Piece, because like Joey Wheeler is like a Junichi something or other, I think, in the actual.
Yeah. It's
But
like
like
Junichi.
Joey Wheeler, freaking Meowth, and Sanji, Four Kids Sanji all had Brooklyn accents or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of just like in the new One Piece, right? I was like, British Sanji maybe not going to be my favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
British
Yeah.
Sanji, I'm a little iffy on that. Now, I feel like, you know what? It's not even the British Sanji that I'm iffy about. He's not bad. He's actually like, I feel like he captures most of, if not all of, like early Sanji for me. It's sort of just like,
Oh.
I don't know, looking at like it's a shallow opinion, but looking at him,
Hmm.
he just doesn't look to me like Sanji. Like the way
Yeah.
his facial structure is a little too weird, but
Mm.
maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. I
Oh.
feel like it's not bad though. It's definitely not bad.
Yeah. I definitely like the person they chose for Zoro. I haven't watched it yet, but casting wise, I think they did good in that choice.
Yeah. McKenyu, the guy who's on the Rurouni Kenshin live action, he knows the
Hmm.
sword stuff. He does a lot of things.
Yeah.
He had very good, like I think part of like in my prediction video, I said this mainly about Luffy, but I was like, there's
Mm.
gonna be a lot of really good landing lines. I think they're gonna actually have lines that are not like from the manga. It's not ripped straight out, but they're gonna make a joke or something like that, and it's gonna land
Yeah.
well. Zoro actually had a lot of those, and I was
Yeah.
really happy about that. Same thing with
My
Sanji. Same thing with Luffy. They all had pretty good lines.
my thing though, like, cause and everybody's saying it's such a good live action, which is surprising me, cause like I feel like One Piece is too wacky to be a
Well,
live action.
here's the thing: they made it kind of work because they made it sort of like, they made it like sort of cartoonish in a way. It's like
Oh,
the demeanor of the show. It's not like a drama. It's kind of wacky in its own way. Like it's not
okay.
One Piece, like it's not anime, but it's
Yeah.
very. I mean, obviously they have all the set pieces. Everyone has like colored hair, so like if a character has colored hair, you know that they're
Mhm.
probably important. If a character
I
is
feel
doing
so
something,
special.
if a character is doing something like very specific, or they have a really wacky outfit, you know that they're
Mhm,
probably a big deal, like just off the bat. But it
mhm.
also helps because it's like, now I know who the character is, because it's like someone doesn't look necessarily 100% like the character, but when they have the outfit on, you can tell who they're supposed to be at the very least. And like there's a lot of the action stuff that I thought, and this is the prediction that I made that I'm definitely got very wrong. The action was actually pretty smooth as far
That's
as the
good.
as far as the fight scenes went. The one
Mhm.
with Zoro and Mihawk was top notch.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones involving Luffy, like the way you see him move, it's interesting, and it's like this is how someone would do this if they were a rubber man, like in real life. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
it's kind of
okay.
like I saw the Luffy casting, peak decision making, Zoro
Yeah.
casting peak decision making.
I think they chose a good Usopp too.
No, the Usopp they have looks like, I've had people say like that is the most impressive thing because they made someone look legitimately like Usopp but without the long nose. And that
Yeah, yeah.
I had people who didn't even really know One Piece say that, like, yeah, they did a really good job on that casting. Because that was back when, I don't know, the first video I had you edit for me was about One Piece, the
I
live
think so,
action.
yeah.
And I was saying, like, like Emily Rudd, the Nami character, I was kind of indifferent to. I was a little skeptical of Zoro because he looked like all the pictures of him make him look like a K-pop star, but like actually in the movies and everything, he actually looks kind of manly. And in the One Piece, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's Zoro, not
Yeah.
not not whatever. I don't know any of the names of the people from like BTS or anything like that, but that's kind of was like, we need to have Zoro not be BTS. That would be a giant faux pas.
Hmm.
That's the wrong everything.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Zoro to himself doesn't exactly scream pretty boy. Honestly, I wasn't too worried about the Zoro because, like, I think it was when I was editing that video, I was able to find some of his work, and I was like, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I mean, it's funny because like when you went and found clips for that video, you found clips of Inaki Godoy that I never seen before. Like I did a
Mm,
little bit of research. I did a little bit of research into like their prior work, and a lot of them were not major actors, but yeah, found some stuff that was like, I don't know where you found it, but you did a good job because I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
find these things. So
Some of them did
you're right.
require a
You
lot
are kind of
of,
right about Zoro. Like actually seeing
yeah,
him in something that's not a picture makes it a lot better.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, I guess it is because like some of these weren't like really big actors. You had to do like some digging to find their stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, because like almost all of the characters are basically non-entities prior to this. Like
Mhm.
I think I think like some of the characters have a little bit of experience. Like Makenyu has some experience doing like Rurouni Kenshin, the live
Yeah,
action.
I am.
That apparently, according to the people I've talked to, that's usually like when they've seen it, that's kind of like, yeah, that's really only the good. But it's again a Japanese live action that doesn't need.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just sword fighting for the most part. You don't need anything like the stakes to try
Mhm.
and make a Rurouni Kenshin work. Trying to do something like
Yeah,
JoJo or Dragon Ball or One Piece in live action, that's a very big far
yeah,
cry from something. I mean, even Death Note, I thought like the
yeah,
only hurdle is Ryuk, and the rest of it should be easy as pie, and they couldn't manage to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so just
And
like
that's the
this is,
thing.
live action is
Yeah,
cursed. I think this broke the curse.
yeah. Oh gosh, I hope so. And that's the thing too. with Death Note in particular, because the Japanese also have a live action of it. And I remember when I was like a teenager, I watched the live action of the Japanese version, and I remember actually kind of liking it. I mean, the casting, there were some characters I would have personally chose differently, but it is what it is. It was fine. But then like English in America, we made a Death Note live action should be relatively easy.
That's what I
And
was saying. Is like as long as you can
yeah,
do the one thing, which they were able to do correctly,
yes,
this
their
should be an
Ryuk looked so good.
it should be an easy thing.
Yeah,
All you have to do is do it smart. It doesn't
yeah,
it's the budget. It's not a big deal. The actual acting skills shouldn't even be that big of a deal. Really, what it
yeah,
came down to is I think that the way that they decided to take it, it just didn't do the original work anything good.
mm,
Like they didn't do a good job.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if you overall don't do a good job, it's just not gonna be good. But One Piece
Mm,
overall, I think they did a good job. They had a really shitty B plot line where they decided to take two characters that I'm biased towards saying are some of my least favorite major recurring characters in One Piece. You have
mm.
his grandfather, Vice Admiral Garp, and then you have the kid he saves at the very beginning from Alvida, Kobe. And
Yeah,
Kobe pre puberty, like it's not really puberty; it's more like a glow up. Like it's
yeah,
only
yeah.
about a few months, but there's a long period of time in between where you see like um,
Yeah, yeah,
shrimpy little Kobe, all that, and then he
yeah,
becomes like a marine in his own right.
yeah,
They don't have Kobe be a marine in his own right yet. It's sort of just him like him talking to Garp in an office, him watching things happen. Like that's not peak fiction.
mm,
That's not One Piece. They dropped
yeah,
the episode count from 10 to 8, and they had to obviously they're going to cut a few things out of it. Why on earth you needed a B plot line, like a secondary plot line
yeah,
that
yeah.
included Marines talking in a room, um, uh, Vice Admiral Garp talking to people, and a bunch of characters that, for the most part, don't matter that much. Like I understand from a narrative perspective for a season that it's nice to be able to showcase the difference. Like you have the good Marines and the bad Marines. You have the good pirates and the bad pirates, and you're showing two young men go into their own in their own respective fields and everything. I thought that was a good decision in in doses, but
Yeah.
we probably got an hour of garbage B plot line throughout episodes 2 to 8, and I thought it would just or maybe even more than an hour, but at least an hour of that, and I thought that that was just a giant waste of time. And they cut a few characters that are like not super major, but like I think add like
Mm.
they sort of where are you in One Piece, Charlie?
Um, Pretty much the same place I have been for the longest time. Frankie just joined the group.
Oh, so you know everything that happens with like the East Blue stuff.
Yeah, I know about Yes Blue.
So Hachi, the octopus,
Yeah, yeah.
you know him. He's not even in the live action.
Oh,
That's a sad because that's
yeah.
one of the good Zoro moments. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah.
Zoro is short on good moments, so taking like one away isn't the
Yeah, I
biggest
guess.
deal.
Yeah.
But no Hachi, so Zoro and Sanji end up sharing their fight in
Um,
episode 8. And so that's like Sanji doesn't even get his own real fight.
mm,
And that kind of pissed me off a little bit because they sort of they what they did is they decided we're gonna not do the Dawn Krieg thing. We're gonna have like Sanji feed the guy, but him not really be a big thing in that arc. And we're gonna have Mihawk come to town and slice up Zoro. And then we're gonna have Arlong come in, kick the crap out of Luffy, and then run away.
what a
And
bitch.
in on the Baratier, and if you remember on the Baratier,
Mm,
like Nami steals the ship, Usopp and Zoro end up sort of leaving, and Luffy and Sanji do all the action
yeah.
versus the
Yeah, I
Krieg
remember.
pirates,
Yeah.
and we don't get any of that. Sanji fights a little bit, and then in Arlong Park, Sanji fights. I mean, it's not bad. Like Sanji kicks the crap out of a lot of people, but it's like the
Hmm.
big Sanji fight, the Sanji versus Kurobi. He ends up sharing it with Zoro, and it's like it's not. Usopp got his own fight in his own right and everything, and he didn't have like
Yeah.
Usopp didn't really have his own big moment, like in terms of like standing up and fighting a good fight like he did in Syrup Village in the manga. So
Yeah.
in the live action, it was sort of just Usopp and Kaya and Nami running away in the mansion the whole time, while Kuro
Hmm.
was doing horror movie stuff to try and chase them. And Zoro got his fight where he beat up the cat pirate people, and that was maybe one of
Hmm.
the best action scenes of the whole thing. And then Luffy and Nami, or not Luffy, no, Luffy and Nami, but Luffy goes and beats up Kuro, and
Hmm.
Usopp and Nami don't really do much of anything, whereas like Usopp and Nami are both very involved in the manga and the anime.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's a little bit of a critique. It's not like the worst thing they could have done because Usopp's character is still overall pretty good. Saji's character is still overall really good.
Hmm.
I think it's a lot of small things that there's no way they're ever gonna get it perfect.
Yeah.
At the very least, you expect that like this is a directing decision. It gets weighed between both people
Yeah.
doing it for Tomorrow Studios and people like in Oda's like the actual author's little contingent
Hmm.
that were working on the stuff. And so
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
probably just very specific things. They had they had a lot of things that I did not expect them to have because I didn't think they were going to do that. Like Luffy
Hmm.
stabs himself not quite in the eye, but just under his eye, that little scar and everything. That's not
Yeah.
even in the anime. That's only in the manga. That scene,
Yeah.
and they actually do it in the
Yeah.
live action. I was like, I'm impressed.
Nice.
Zoro's introduction is him cutting a guy in half, and that was very
Mm.
good. I was like, this is we're not being babies about it. We're actually making a live action pirate fight thing,
Yeah.
and the backstories were really good. Like they showed the whole thing, like Shanks's arm. They showed the
Mm.
whole thing, like Kawina died, Zoro's friend. She had the whole thing going into like her whole thing about whether or not women versus men and all that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
this is where I didn't think they would do it, but they actually did it to the story, and I'm proud of that. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
actually I'm very proud that they didn't cave to stupid bullshit from people who were probably pitching a fit about it. If I had to guess
Well.
about any of Netflix's well, I don't know if it's specifically Netflix because Netflix just kind of orders the stuff. I don't know
Mm.
a lot about the people who work on Tomorrow Studios. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
imagine there's someone who pitched a fit about the Zoro backstory because it's not like it's a very I don't know they'd be crying about the patriarchy is like how dare she say that she's not going to be as good as him when they're adults because of her being a girl whatever. It's not about that. It's like the line is something that's like a part of that old Japanese conservative way of thinking, and Zoro kind of rebukes it.
Because, like, I was about to say, if I'm remembering correctly, um, that, like, pissed, like, Zoro off because he's like, you're, like, the one of the best people here. You're my rival, you
Yeah,
bitch.
I
Like,
know.
I didn't think anybody would have a problem with that because I felt like, if anything, it actually is kind of like a feministy story.
Well, I mean, her point about it is the kind of thing I didn't expect them to let them say. That this is all.
Uh,
That's all I'd say about that. I was very
um,
impressed by that because I mean, it's not
hmm.
really like Kawina's whole deal was like girls can beat boys, but women can never beat men. And I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
that's.
yeah.
I think you got to be a bit more specific about that. But overall, like there's a reason that the NFL is all male players, effectively. There are certain
Mm,
biological truths, and it's not that women
mm,
can't beat men in a lot of things that are sporty. It's just that specifically when it comes to a lot of that, it's funny because the way that One Piece does things, you have like these one man army characters, like so the equivalent would be like Tashigi, right? Tashigi
uh-huh.
is significantly better than most like Marines. But when it comes to like the big powerful swordsman like Zoro, it's a bit of a stretch. No pun intended.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like,
like
one of my personal worries, though, with the live action is that One Piece is such a long series. I feel like they're gonna have to speed through and rush and skip over a lot of shit.
oh, and that's so here's the thing that I'm concerned about. So they haven't said whether they've greenlit a second season or not. If
Oh.
they're gonna do One Piece like all of it, right?
Mm.
And like you said, they did kind of have to speed. I don't think they had to speed as much as they tried to, but they didn't like skip over arcs or anything like that. Really,
Mm.
they stuck true to most of it. And what One Piece that is going to have to do they're gonna have to churn out like one of these every year to year and a half, because the actors are all gonna be like, if it takes them 15 years to do this, Emily Rudd would be in like her late 40s. Like a lot of the actors would be in their 30s and 40s, and it wouldn't look quite right.
Mm. I mean, shit. There's been plenty of times that 30-year-olds have played as
I'm
like
I'm thinking about like the
teenagers
kid
and stuff.
actors who would grow up.
Oh,
Like
oh yeah,
they're
that's
probably
right.
going to
That's
get a
right.
child actor for Chopper for a bit.
Oh, that's true.
We're not.
That's
I'm
true.
not sure,
Maybe.
like, because that's what I was saying is that season two is gonna have some budget issues, because we're gonna have a Tony Chopper for about half of it, and then we're gonna have three
Yeah.
separate. So One Piece, the first season, they only had two Devil Fruit users, Luffy and Buggy.
Mm.
They didn't, and I know we're not really playing it. We're gonna get into game real quick, but we also don't really have anyone in chat, sadly. So I don't
It's
know
right. No.
why, but anyway, Luffy, Buggy, they had their Devil Fruits. We didn't get to see Smoker. He's sort of teased at the end, but we don't have Smoker yet in the series.
Mm.
Um, there are only 4 Devil Fruit users in the East Blue Saga. In the Baroque Works Saga, they add another like 16 to 20.
Mm.
And a lot of them are Zoans, like Chopper. They got a couple people who transform, like the Mole Lady in Alabasta. They got the Bison Dude in Drum Island, where Chopper gets introduced. And they've got the Logias. They've got Smoker. They've got Crocodile, who turns into sand and all that. They've got Ace, who's all fiery. And so, those things, I don't know how much they're going to take budget-wise, but they might be a little bit a lot.
Mm.
So that's what I was... My main primary big concern with the budget is, what are they going to do with all that? Because Chopper's going to take a lot... Like, if you... What I was thinking is, like, Detective Pikachu, right?
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
have Detective Pikachu, and then you'd have, like, a gorilla-esque Chopper for the big Chopper when he's fighting. Because you could have
I
an
never
actual...
gave that much thought. I totally forgot that
You could just have an
Pokemon
actual
technically had
ranger.
a live action.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. But
Yeah. That actually wasn't a bad movie, honestly.
no, but there was... Think about all the money that went into that.
Yeah.
That's like...
That's true.
One Piece had a budget. They had, like... I think it was something like $10 to $20 million for each episode.
Mm.
And that's good and all. That's not bad, especially considering like the big budget productions, like the Walking Dead's and the
Mm.
Game of Thrones of last decade. Those cost like $10 million an episode usually. So
Yeah.
it's not as though One Piece isn't getting like good budget money, but you're not working with like Marvel Avengers kind of money for a movie. You're doing a miniseries TV show, and a lot of
Mm.
the special effects they're only gonna be so good. There's a certain level of like which we're gonna have to say like we can't cut this too much. Like there's a lot of the Luffy fighting and stuff like that. He doesn't use Gum Gum nearly as much as he does in the manga. Like he does it for like important fights and all that. They do a few things, but like they're not doing it constantly.
Mhm.
Like it's not that they're shying away from it, but it's like they're doing a lot of dark sets. Like almost every fight took place in somewhere dark. Like Luffy versus Arlong was in the building.
Yeah.
Um, the Kuro fight on Syrup Village, all the Usopp stuff, that was all in the mansion at
Mhm.
night. So it's kind of horror movie like, but it's also like I think they're doing it like that to save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to look 100% as perfected if it's in the dark.
Yeah.
And they've got let's see, what was the other one? Like the Baratier, most of that fighting was in the building, except for like Zoro and Mihawk, but that's just a sword fight.
Mm.
What's the other one? Oh yeah, Buggy, the whole Buggy stuff that was in a giant circus tent,
Mm.
which I thought was actually like as far as the direction goes, that was good. I like that
Mm.
decision. Actually, everything about Buggy was kind of my favorite character. Um, the way he gets played and everything, the a lot of the Buggy stuff, Buggy is better in the live action than he is in the manga. Like, not even
Yeah.
joking. That no joke, get it? But
Yeah.
no clowning around. But yeah, One Piece live action was very good. I was really happy with it. Obviously, there are things that they could have done better, but it's not like I'm gonna let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Hmm.
And as far as the live action, this is like, my effectively my total review of it comes down to just 8 out of 10 too much Kobe. Other than that, they're pretty solid. Like
Okay,
it's not
okay.
a bad it's not a bad at all. Like I was thinking, like, especially some of the first few episodes, like a 9.5 out of 10. As it went on,
Uh,
there's some glaring problems that make it a little bit
mm,
worse. But as far as live action goes, I've definitely not seen any better because I've never seen the Rurouni Kenshin, and I only watched like
yeah.
some clips from the Diamond Unbreakable live action that they did. Apparently was fairly good, but I don't know. Like
I
the only
never
one
watched it.
I've heard stellar comments about was JoJo. I mean, not JoJo, Rurouni
Mm,
Kenshin. Like
yeah, yeah.
I've seen live action Rohan Kishibe, and that was terrible. Um, Live action Attack on Titan was really bad. Live action, like, you could go through the list of all the live actions. The passable one I saw, they did a live action Bleach that was specifically Japanese, and they did a fairly
Mm-hmm.
good job. But it wasn't
Yeah.
like, I mean, you did Bleach season one, no Cone, no Yoruichi, but I mean, you don't really need Yoruichi until after Rukia gets taken anyway, because I mean, it's just a cat at that point.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, let's see, no, there's like all of the side characters and everything weren't there. Chad and Orihime didn't really get their own stories, like their
Mm,
proper introductions, because it, like, they did a movie. Like, anime like that need a miniseries. Bleach would have needed like about 4 episodes to do that, in my opinion,
mm.
and not like a 2 hour long movie. But yeah, it's, as far as live action goes, I'm fairly happy with the way they did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Anyhow,
They
uh,
should play the game.
yeah, we're gonna play the game. We're doing Ryota, at least for at first. I would
The
ask.
screen share is gone.
Screen share should be on, right?
It's gone?
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, I figured you did it because you're like, I'm going to be talking about this for a
Oh no,
while.
I didn't mean for it to go away. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
We haven't started yet. Well, we're doing Ryota. Which one do you wanna be MC this time, since I was MC last time?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be the pro tag.
What's your name gonna be?
We can name me. Um,
I'd be very tempted to ask chat about volume, but
yeah.
no chatting in chat. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's 3 people in chat. I think one of them is me,
Yeah.
one of them is you.
Yeah. So
So
we got one lurker. So we're gonna name, her first name can be Bitches.
what?
Bitches!
Bitches.
Yeah. Perfect.
Alright.
Last name, my dude. Bitches, my dude.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good. Is bitches my dude okay? Hell yeah, bitches my dude is okay.
Dude, bitches my dude is great.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna need to change my display human
Yeah.
parts. Yes. I need to go back and fix my thing, because I'm like, the only time in the game with typing.
Yeah.
I really do need to make a more than semi-temporary solution
Mm.
for me. You know,
Yeah.
configurations, all that. We're good. We good. Same pagination. We're actually gonna go through some of this because of Ryota.
Yeah.
Not every day.
Ah.
Usually you've been ready for an hour by now, bitches. Overslept.
There he is. Good boy. This rock dove is named Kawara Rota. We've been friends since he was barely half. He can be a little mischievous, but he's responsible and kind.
Let's see, you've been friends since he was hatched. Does that mean you were like a year ago and he was like a year ago when he was hatched?
Honestly, yeah. Right, since like the way birds age. Breakfast was a little hard to catch today, but I can't relax without red meat inside.
Doing as a hunter-gatherer sounds tough. I'd be happy to make you breakfast, you know?
I might take you up on that for when starvation looms. Thanks, Ryota. Oh, the bell already? Come on, we need to hurry to class. Oh.
Huh. Jeepers! No good being late on the first day.
I didn't know Ryota was Daphne.
Yeah, Daphne.
And so Ryota pulled me along inside the school. Saw some mystery.
Well, we do know that Ryota's probably Asian, so there's that, I guess. They predicted that Daphne was going to be Asian.
Yes, yes.
What they didn't predict is that it would be the worst adaptation of anything.
Today is the start of a new semester. I wonder what lies in store. It kind of pisses me off because, like, a more adult themed Scooby-Doo is such a good idea.
It was such a good idea, and they decided we're
Yeah.
gonna make this Mindy Kaling's bullshit bitching and self-aggrandizing like blather. It was maybe one of the worst things I've seen of all time because it's literally just someone who's uncouthly like the worst parts of themselves self-inserted into like a character who's not remotely like that at all, and kind of made it terrible. I mean, all the characters are bad.
Yeah.
Even as good as Fred was, like he was maybe the most refreshing character because he's the funny one. Like he's still not as good as regular Fred.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was a terrible first term. Let's go, the baby.
Hell yeah. It also surprises me because Mindy Kaling wrote for The Office, and The Office is really funny.
Well, okay, so the funny thing is like, for one, I'm of the opinion that The Office is like it's good, but it's not maybe the best show of all time.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's funny because of the characters, not even because of the plot. So it's like her whole dealie, like part of the reason Velma was bad is because the plot was ass.
Yeah.
Like there were jokes. I mean, they were trying to be jokes.
Even writers are writing the characters.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't know. It's
that's like
maybe part of it.
Because
is like,
I spoke to Zebin about this before, and he said that there is an office work just because like there's a lot of more like ad-libbing, I think, or something like that.
Well, okay, so here's part of it. The Scooby-Doo cast and the Office cast, the big difference. The Office is full of very unbelievably flawed, like personally speaking, flawed characters.
Yeah.
Like Dwight and what's the main character, Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
They're incredibly hilarious, and they're also both kind of crappy, like crappy people. And this is kind of what I said about the reason I don't like Seinfeld is more so like every character on Seinfeld is like one of the worst human beings ever. Like if he's like George Costanza is kind of a piece of shit, and Elaine is kind of a piece of shit, and Kramer is like annoying in an endearing way, but also kind of a douche in some other ways. And Jerry himself is not like an amazing human being. And
I feel like I've only watched like one episode of Seinfeld my entire life.
But like, there's a lot of sitcoms where like the characters are inherently very good people and you like them. And that was the thing with Seinfeld. It's like I thought it was funny, but I kind of hate most of the characters. And with The Office, it's a little bit different. You got a balance. You got kind of like Michael wasn't hateable. He was not maybe the best person, but he wasn't like hateable in the way that like George Costanza is really hateable in Seinfeld.
With characters like The Office, like Michael in particular, he does so much shit that like really pisses you off. It's like, you're so dumb, how are you not this like aware of like what you're doing?
Yeah.
But then there's also times where like he does have his moments where he's like really sweet and you're like, oh, okay, you're a okay person.
No, yeah, Michael and Dwight and all that, like a lot of the characters in The Office, they're complex.
Yeah.
I think part of it, like, Mindy Kaling wrote for The Office. I don't know that she was the only writer, though.
No, there was plenty of other writers.
And that's where I'm like, I think maybe it was like she was a comedy-oriented writer. Scooby-Doo is not, like, Scooby-Doo is funny, but it's story-driven. Like, that's part of the
it's
real.
It's about solving
the
mystery.
Yeah, the real detriment to the Scooby-Doo, the new Scooby-Doo thing, was that it wasn't good at all. Like, the writing wasn't good for the story. The writing wasn't that good for the characters. The dialogue was usually kind of garbage. It was too much like I said, it felt like a self-insert project. Like, maybe that's nice if you're writing a fan fiction or whatever, but I don't want to read that.
I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with self-inserting your characters, as long as you're, like, self-aware of what your flaws are, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, because it's like, I don't know if the show it's not really clear whether or not the show understands that Velma is a really shitty person. In that story, but it's very it's almost hard to really identify with any of the characters.
Yeah.
Because even Daphne, who was probably supposed to be the best written, ends up being like, like a lot of the ways that she does things and decides things. It's like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, would anyone really relate to that? And I'm wondering, like, it's not just the relatability, but, like, you have to be able to like the characters too.
Yeah.
None of them were very great. Like,
yeah.
I don't think anything was a bigger shit in the face than Norval, though. That was the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the fact that, I mean, maybe it's a good thing Scooby was not a thing.
Yeah.
But, like, how did you make you went from Shaggy being maybe one of the most likable characters in the entire like 60s 70s era,
everybody's favorite,
everyone's favorite character, and you make him like this really like milky soy boy simp that is a very very anti 420, you know.
Yeah,
Like, not that Shaggy was doing weed in the Scooby-Doo show, but he had
it's just like there were times like things were like implied, like in the live action when he meets this girl named Mary Jane and he's like, that's the most beautiful name I've ever heard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the live action did like implications, but obviously they never outright did it because it was a kid show. But I think it's one of those things it's very frustrating because I love Scooby-Doo, and it's one of those things where it's like a more adult-oriented one where they're like solving like shit like murders and stuff like that instead of like, oh, there's scary noises coming from this abandoned warehouse. What happened there? It's so cool to like have a concept where they're like solving like adult like scary cases and stuff like that, and I love that concept. And it's like it's like, oh gosh, somebody, if she can write a show, somebody hire me. I can fix this. I
know. Well, that's the thing, is like, it's not even the things that they wanted to be in there were in there and all that, but it's like, if they could have just done a little bit better, at least I would have appreciated it in some regard. Like, there's been so many different Scooby-Doo remakes, and all of them have been actually fairly good. I've never seen a Scooby-Doo remake that was actively terrible. Even the live-action Scooby-Doo wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's some things, like, the second live-action Scooby-Doo is boring, but...
Yeah.
I don't know,
with Velma,
maybe it's me, but...
Yeah, with Velma in particular, it feels a bit more like the purpose was to be rage bait, but it falls flat because nobody gave a shit, okay?
Well, it's not just that, but think about being rage bait, but actively undermining your own rage bait stuff. Like,
yeah.
Rage bait, but in a way that's like, I don't know, as Nuck said, everyone who's woke hated it because it made a lot of jokes that offended them, and everyone who was like the anti-woke crowd didn't like it either because it was trying to be woke. So it ended up pleasing nobody.
Yeah, it felt like it was trying so hard to piss off the anti-woke crowd, and it's like, you should just make a series because you like it. Like, who cares if the anti-woke crowd likes it or not? Just, like, focus on what you want to make.
Well, because so here's the thing. If you actually do want to do something that pisses off the anti-woke crowd, just do the race swaps and kind of not really much else, leave it at that, and make it decent. That would have been the best way to do that. Instead, we're gonna make it all about like white privilege, but do it in a way that almost undermines its own argument and was bad. Like, regardless of what you think, almost everyone understood that it was terrible.
Yeah.
So that
brought everybody from every political party together to say this sucks.
There have been like in the 2020s there have been a grand total of 3 things that everyone has agreed on. In general. One, COVID sucked. 2, Velma sucked. And I would say the third is that the economy is bad. But those are the only things that anyone has come together on. But really,
just waiting for the housing market to crash.
Well, that's the funny thing is that's both good and bad in its own right. It's just you have winners and losers in that. If you bought a house recently, you kind of lost. You're gonna have to hold that for a while. If you're like me and you're just hoping that the price of housing like halves before you can actually hope to afford to buy anything. Maybe you do, but inherently housing, I don't think it's going through the same kind of crash that other people are hoping for. Part of the issue is that inflation actually made the value of those houses like need to go up by necessity because they have real intrinsic value. Like gold is worth more because it has real intrinsic value. And the same thing is going to be somewhat the same for houses. So I don't know there's ever going to be a true crash. It's just that the what's it called I'm not thinking politics, so what the hell is the interest rate? The federal interest rate, that has to go down a lot to be able to afford these. Because they had to make the federal interest rate go up so that everyone stopped doing any kind of home loans or car loans or any loans, so that inflation would cool down. And they've sort of gotten it starting to go down, but then if they let go of those, then it's probably going to go back up. There's no.
But with Velma in particular, I don't even really mind, race swapping. It doesn't bother me at all.
Not if it's... Well, so there's only 2 reasons why I would ever get bothered by race swapping. One is if it would be intrinsically, like, weird. Like, if you were doing something about, like, Civil War era America, and there were a bunch of, like, white slaves, it would be very strange. Because that is one of the only times where it's, like, it's part of it. Like if you had something that was like supposed to be historically accurate, like Cleopatra, or whatever that thing that the Egyptians got mad about because Cleopatra was Greek, and they called the Egyptians racist because they were pointing out that Cleopatra wasn't actually black, but then they sued them, and they had to reclassify it as I think it was based on a true based on a true story, not actual documentary, because they were for one, I don't know that you should call Egyptians racist because a lot of Egyptians are black, and them wanting something to be historically accurate about a figure that they hold very near and dear is kind of something that maybe people should respect. But like other than things, very specific things like that, usually race swapping doesn't bother me that much. It's really how you write the character. So like you could have done things in a way, and obviously people are gonna get upset. Like Black Shaggy wouldn't have even been a big deal. Because they have so many different Scooby-Doo iterations at this point. It's like Spider-Man. Black Shaggy would not have been a big deal to anyone. I don't think Indian Velma would have been a big deal to anyone. Well, I shouldn't say anyone. Some people would always have a problem with it, but
obviously.
For the most part, if you had just written them correctly, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah. I think, like, the issue, though, is, like, I don't care about the race swapping. It really doesn't bother me. However, like, the show felt the need to get defensive before anybody even said anything. And that's what bothered me. It's like, just be confident in your characters.
Well, that's part of it is that it wasn't. This isn't a good faith show. I feel like it was meant to shit on people, and that's kind of what makes me upset about that. Like I don't trust Disney to buy any kind of IP anymore because they make things in a way that are almost specifically designed to shit on people.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that makes it cringe too, is that it's trying so hard to offend the anti-woke crowd. Like, so hard. And it's like, first of all, it's not a hard task to do. And then, second of all, just have a show. Like, if you make a show and it's controlled by trying to piss people off, then that crowd's the crowd that wins. Because just do your show, you know?
Well, part of it is that I think there's a miscalculation in society because as polarized as things are, there's also a general, like, you have people that are very anti-woke and people that are not very anti-woke, and then there's people who are very woke, and then there are people who are not very woke. And I think that the not very crowd is like more than 60% of the country. And so when you're making it hostile for that audience and they're not interested, then they'll fall away. Regardless of what way, like, this is the reason why Christian movies did really, really bad for a long time, is because if you try to get too preachy, no one's going to want to watch it. And so this is what the anti-woke thing is doing now. It's all too preachy. No one wants to watch it. You made it for a very specific audience. And you get mad when it doesn't perform well because you're not getting Avatar money because it's you've alienated too much of the audience. You've made it like it's not just the alienation too. It's like you spent so much time trying to piss people off or trying to be subversive that you've lost the quality, and so then a lot of other people are not going to be interested.
And like, even if it were like my own propaganda, I don't go to Scooby-Doo for politics. I go to Scooby-Doo to like solve a mystery.
I mean, I think that's part of like Scooby-Doo was maybe the least inherently like there are themes of the 70s in Scooby-Doo. Overall, it is maybe one of the least political cartoons I've ever seen.
And I don't even mind like the characters having their political takes. It's just too preachy about it.
I mean, like, think
like
about,
okay.
Like, oh, actually, you know, a good contrast. There was they did like a Scooby-Doo special the year leading up to that, where they made like Velma lesbian. And I think some people got mad at that, but I don't like. Part of the weird thing is that you're sort of not doing anything wrong because you didn't write her character any different, really. Velma's love life is not a major centerpiece. Aside from like the 2010s thing where she was dating Shaggy and it didn't really work, and there was supposed to be like a between the lines sort of tension between her and Shaggy that wasn't working, but like her and that hot dog water girl and stuff like that. And they were like, well, we intended Velma to be kind of a lesbian, and it was like, well, then actually say it. Don't beat around the bush.
Say it, you coward.
It was like 2015. You don't have to not say it anymore.
Plus, I could be wrong, but
Steven Universe. Steven Universe is Steven Universe at this point. That's
Steven Universe is out, and I was about to ask, like,
have to beat around the bush.
At what point did Adventure Time have their finale where PB and Marceline got together? At that point.
I think Adventure Time's finale was a few years after that.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking like in kids cartoons that I'd seen at that point, like there was a bunch of stuff like you had plenty of things to where it was like more preachy and obnoxious. Whereas like having someone just naturally be not heterosexual, but not being grotesque, not being ridiculous, it was just like a general plot. I don't know that would have been at that time. I don't think that would have been a horrible thing, because again, Velma is not like the most heterosexual character. I don't think the people in the 70s were writing her as gay, but Like,
I mean, that's like...
thinking about Velma, I'm like, who's like the most sexually ambiguous characters in cartoons? I'd say Velma's like a nerd, and not
Yeah.
like, she wasn't trying to be feminine, but she wasn't trying to be masculine either. And that kind of works.
Yeah.
And so it didn't bother, like, when that whole thing happened, there were a bunch of people complaining about it. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't really care is because they didn't make as big of a deal about it as people did with the Mindy Kaling's Velma.
Yeah. But, what I was gonna say is, as far as, like, the politics go, it's fine to have characters that have their political takes. That's totally fine. And, like, a perfectly good example is American Dad, where, Stan is, like, this hard conservative, and, like, Haley is, like, this hardcore liberal. And, like, that does play a part in, like, Okay.
I've seen like 2 episodes, full episodes of American Dad, so I know what the characters look like. I just don't know them by name.
Okay, American Dad is a really good show, in my opinion. It's the dad, and Haley is the daughter.
Oh, because like I've seen that clip where it's like the dad is like puts a gun on the counter, it's like, all right, gun, shoot people, or something like that. He's trying to make some.
Yeah. And like the rest of the family, from what I can really tell, they don't really have much of political opinions. But Haley and Stan, they're the like pieces that like have like political takes, and a part of the humor is like how they like just strongly disagree with each other on everything. Yeah. But like, it's not a super political in your face. It's not saying that you're right or wrong for whatever you believe in. It's literally just a show you can enjoy, regardless of what your political takes are. And I think that's the best way to go with it if you're going to have characters that are political.
I think in general, that's kind of what Seth MacFarlane tried to do with a lot of his shows.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was meant to be like very in your face, like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of have heard the general opinion that people like, kind of like, even though it's not as popular, people like the American Dad a lot better than Family Guy.
American Dad is definitely his best show. It's better than the Cleveland Show. It's better than Family Guy. It's very funny.
Cleveland Show is just like we want to make some money spin-off kind of.
Yeah.
Because Cleveland is a character in Family Guy. So.
Yeah. I didn't dislike the Cleveland Show though. It was alright. It was a nice change of pace.
Like I've almost always disliked the spin-offs, so you usually have to impress me.
I get that. Sheen was my favorite Jimmy Neutron character.
Oh
but
no, Sheen! Planet Sheen!
I cannot watch Planet Sheen. That is horrible.
So bad.
Yeah, why did they do that to my boy? I think we're in 3-2. Ryota and I in the same place again. Old faces, new faces, strange thrill fills my heart, and I look around the assembled birds. I hope you all get along. Here's to the formation of many happy memories. Oh, the teacher's here.
Good morning, everybody. I'm just gonna skip past his lines. We've already read this a couple times, so. Sir, wake up, it's homeroom.
He sleeps with his eyes open.
Yeah, we got Dorothy. The weird thing is like with Ryota and with Shirogane, we're gonna have for Sakuya. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of dialogue with them specifically.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have to parse through this. Hey, that's no good. That's no good.
No good.
This really isn't Ryota dialogue. This is introducing Lebel.
Yeah.
Lebel, the prick.
Looks like a loser.
Dude. It's like the asshole character. Like, some people are attracted to the asshole characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, library. Okay, we can skip this part, I think. Nagaki. We might do Nagaki next time.
Yeah, Nagaki's really good.
We really haven't got...
adorable.
Here's the thing about his story. We don't actually really get to dig into it, because it's almost like a library.
Yeah.
So we don't really get to see him in almost any other way.
Ryota said he was going to the infirmary, so we gotta go to the infirmary even though we know he's not there.
Go to the infirmary just to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh wait, we don't even get Ryota, do
Excuse
we?
me. Huh?
No, we don't get Ryota.
Yeah, we don't get Ryota here, but I think there's...
Shu.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing clubs? Already? Oh, it's Oko-san. Okay, so we're not doing as much as day one as I would have thought.
Yeah.
Oko-san, honestly, flavor character, and this is one thing I've said a lot, but I kind of want to explain. When I say flavor character, do I like them? Maybe not even necessarily. Are they a good character? Maybe not necessarily. They're just very interesting, and they add a lot to spice up the story. That's what Oko-san. That's what Oko-san is. Do I like him? I'm not even quite sure. Is he a good character? I'm also not quite sure. Is he a very interesting character? Absolutely, he is. Oko-san.
Gotta find the true pudding.
Yeah, the true pudding. Oko-san. Oh man. And then we have Sakia, who's sort of like a douchebag.
Dick.
Just going to school is enough for me.
I wonder if we're gonna have to go to the going home club, basically, to go with Ryota. You've never heard that term?
No.
In anime, they tend to use it for like the characters that aren't a part of any clubs. They just go home, the going home club.
Oh, so it's like catch-all for people who don't do clubs.
Yeah.
It's like a snarky term to describe like when you're not in any club. Like,
yeah.
Alright, Ryota is like, he's part of the Giga Chad Birds Club in my opinion. He does so much. He goes to school, he probably does his homework, because that's the kind of bird Ryota is. And then he goes and works.
He's weak, and he has to take care of his mother. Yeah, he has to take care of He has to take care of his mother. He does all these jobs. He himself is physically weak, apparently, according to Protag, because he has to go to, he gets weak very easily. It doesn't give us an option to do the going home club.
No, it doesn't give us, well, because we've never had one.
Oh, okay.
Because track team is Oko, obviously. Library will be Nagaki. Infirmary is either Shu or Yuya.
Yeah.
I bet the student so this is the thing. If I had to guess, the student council is going to be made up of our Sakia LaBelle motherfucker dude.
Yeah. Just pick whichever one. I guess it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna try student council because I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're gonna run this school.
We've never done student council. I don't think so. All right, which should probably be an all-rounder because I don't think we're gonna have another boss fight.
Yeah. I don't see that in Ryota's school or Ryota's path.
There's a chance if we do Shu's second story correctly. Maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe Oko-san's second story. Who knows? But like, Ryota's is like a very mainstream kind of like this is ending number 1 that we're going for. He only has one ending.
Oh.
Oko, Asshole, and Dr. Shu all have 2 endings. Everyone else just has 1. Which I understand for Nagaki, because it's like, he's not really even that involved aside from the library. And Angel is kind of a very, like, he's sort of like an extra side story for fun.
Yeah.
And the teacher is kind of a basic story, like, we get him in pieces and chunks of everything else. But I'm surprised that Ryota only has, because Ryota's, like, kind of the main bird.
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say the childhood friend trope, typically. Like, he's the one we're introduced to first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I think it's ending number 1. Because Ryota's the first character.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all of these are kind of tropey. I guess. Like, the teacher trope is kind of a trope, maybe. The asshole trope is obviously a trope. And there's, like, the cool kid, like, the Sanji. of Yuya is kind of like our Sanji. We got the bookworm who's quiet and shy. We got the spaz.
We got the murderous psychopath.
Oh, yeah, psychopath, Dr. Shu. We got the spazzy Oko-san who's got his own quirks. We got the overdramatic like fantasy kid. We got Angel. And then obviously there's the sidebirds in the summer story, but I don't know. Math class?
Yeah, we'll go to math class.
We need wisdom. Mr. Nanaki dozed off. We got points anyway.
Hell yeah.
That's how school works. The teacher. Let's hope you guys you go to school and your teacher dozes off. You just get credit anyway.
Yeah. Oh, this looks
like
new.
The CEO's office. Yeah, this is the student.
Oh yeah, the student council stuff. Oh. Hi, Sakia.
We'll do this in Sakia's story.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, we're gonna.
Oh.
I was the treasurer. No, was I the treasurer? I'm trying to remember what I was in my coding club. I think I was the. I was the secretary. None of these are this. The clerk is kind of the secretary. Maybe I don't know. Veep.
Sure.
Veep?
I'm fine with whatever.
Right wing. Haha. We've automatically been assorted as right wing. Ben Shapiro would probably be happy. I don't know.
Oh no.
Who should I talk to? We're duh.
I've hijacked
Ryota.
the right wing to install my propaganda.
Dude, Ryota.
Yeah.
We actually
Let's
got
do
Ryota.
Ryota. Yeah.
I was surprised at how
Ryota.
little Ryota there actually was, because he's our classmate.
Yeah.
He's in half a club. Ryota,
Let's eat lunch together.
Sure, great view, huh? Well, is that your lunch, bitches?
Oh, I eat bitches for lunch. Yep, it's calamari.
Calorie me?
Calorie me?
Is this like a lawyery thing where they took out 2 letters? Oh, like calorie mate, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's the calorie. My dumbass can't read. I'm eating something.
Yeah, that's a pretty sad thing to bring on a picnic.
No, it's not. Man, once I just see him brush out the guards.
What the hell does that even mean? Jeez, if you eat like that, you'll be dead on the roadside by the time we head back. Here, I'll share mine.
Really? Wow, thanks, yeah.
So I got to
And
eat
so I got to eat half of Ryoto's lunch. His cooking is so good. We can serve the calories or whatever the fuck that is in case of a survival situation.
double dashing your ass.
Yeah, double dashing your ass, not telling you what the fuck I am.
Say something like that. What should we do? Attend, say music, maybe?
I guess.
I feel like our vitality is so high comparatively because it's all bogus numbers unless you're doing the one storyline.
Yeah.
Bach, the Hendel, Mozart. I love how they misspell Mozart.
My favorite Pop-Tart flavor.
Mozart. Like mozzarella tart. No,
Yeah.
Sakia. Where did we get Ryota?
Oh,
I mean, these don't matter. The electives don't matter, really.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
If it were in the fall, it would conflict with the cultural festival, so it's always been in May. When are you gonna do Ryota?
What are you gonna do, Ryota?
Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm calling myself out. I'm apparently one of the bitches because I keep reading the bitches lines.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't decided, but probably the 3-legged race. Some birdie has to.
We'll do the 3-legged race with Ryota.
No!
You do have a lot of stamina, Oko-san. What about you, Sakuya?
You can't possibly expecting me to be doing some race.
It's a sports festival, you doofus!
Part of me is like, we've done this so many times. We're gonna do the three-legged race, so that's one thing we gotta do because it's Ryota's. We're finally cashing in on all the Ryota love.
Yeah, three-legged race up beach.
Oh, are you joining us? Want to run together? I haven't found a partner yet.
Okay.
Get set, go. Ryota's running for...
Ryota's running for both of us. Pairing up a bird and a primate might have been a bad idea. Somehow we came in second anyway, even though we have honor to our class.
Yay.
I imagine, like, because you're a human, he's just tied to your leg and you're running.
Well, what it said in the text was that Ryota was doing most of the legwork.
Yeah. That's the part that, like, baffled me. I was like, what?
The midterms. Who gives a flying firebird? Fucky.
I care about our grades. I don't want us to fail.
It'll smell kind of funny when it gets human leg. This. We still never got Faith's. Did you ever smell Faith's birds?
Oh, I didn't. I totally forgot to sniff her birds. Damn.
You talking about that Pulitzer guy? Yes.
Oh, there's Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Took over humanity with a Tumblr blog.
I know, that's the dumbest thing, but it's the best plotline because it's Hatoful Boyfriend.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm shining. Alright,
I think he's in the cafeteria. Yeah, I think he's in the cafeteria.
It's very unlikely he'd be in the infirmary, even though he's kind of sickly.
Yeah.
Cafeteria. Half dead.
Excuse me, one half-dead fried rice, please.
Half dead fried rice. I don't know what that is. Oh. Guess what? So I've been getting kind of crafty today. I used my air fryer. I made chicken nuggies. They didn't come out the best because one, I'm using like a bucket fryer and not a rack fryer. If you understand the
yeah.
The deal is like, you know, a bucket fryer. Because it's kind of like you put it in and you gotta wait for it. It's like I didn't mix it around, so a lot of it in the middle wasn't even very cooked. So I had to run it again. And so some of it was kind of like burnt on the outside by the end of it, and then some of it was like not quite 100% done. But
yeah.
Chicken, like actual pieces of chicken, it's not as big of a deal because as long as you cook it enough, it's not like ground beef or anything.
Yeah.
I made nuggets. It was my first attempt at making nugs, and it actually wasn't bad. The chicken tasted good. I did a good job cutting things. They did a good job.
Oh yeah.
For the it's just I gotta kind of figure out how to do it with that. Cause like I used to work at a Chick-fil-A, so I sort of understand using an actual fryer with peanut oil. It's just the air fryer is different. But also, canned chicken at the store is like $3 to $4, depending on if you buy Great Value or the normal brand.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just take a chicken breast and try and just get it to where it's like pliable, so I can make my own chicken salad without paying like a can of chicken is not that much chicken. It keeps forever.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm making chicken, because I wanted to make a dip out of chicken salad, I'm like I don't want to buy cans of stuff and pay like $20 for like a pound of chicken salad.
Yeah, chicken tendies actually sound so good right now.
Sorry.
You're good.
I was trying to learn the nugs so I could do the tendies.
Oh yeah.
I think I have to get a better recipe too, because I got one that was fine, but it wasn't like the best. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd be like that.
If I was trying to do what I learned at Chick-fil-A, it wouldn't work because I'm not using a peanut oil fryer. But anyway.
Yeah.
Half dead fried rice. I've never made that. Cool. I know you said, so come on, let's eat outside. We can't horse around in here.
Let's go. Not that I can tell by looking.
San saw the pudding here and he went nuts. I stopped him from going on a rating page, but ow, cut it out, Oko-san. Help me, bitches.
um, leave. Let him go.
I
Let him
think
go.
leave it to me is probably the.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
think that's
help me out.
Oko-san's.
Yeah, let him go is the Oko-san one, so leave it to me for Ryota. Shut up.
Leave it to me, Rihanna. My hunter-gatherer blood boils.
You did that pretty well. Cow! He pulled out. He rushes
my
like
goodness.
from the cafeteria like a rabbit from a catapult. Like a rabbit from a catapult?
Damn, what is that?
Is there some?
What
Is
is-
there a reference that I don't understand with that one?
I don't know, man.
Hell if I know. Ah, save it last. Thanks, bitches.
No problem. No problem. No problem. All I did was shout at him anyway.
I feel so like I want to help some of these birds so much. Like Oko-san, I wanna give him the environment that he needs. With Ryota, I want to help him with all of his hardships. With Sakuya, like at least I feel like both Sakuya and Yuya, they're somewhat capable in their own ways. And it's like Sakuya's just a dick, and so it's like he can dick around all he wants. Yuya is like you kind of want to help him a little bit, but he's got it under control.
Yeah.
Angel obviously is like we want to be his friend.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to give him like happiness. Some of these characters,
Yeah.
it's like I want to help so bad. It's both Ryota and Oko-san are like I just want to help them so much.
Yeah.
Apparently that was enough. Now we can all eat lunch without fear of disaster. We gotta find Oko-san the true pudding.
We do. It's important.
If we actually get anyone in chat, I would do a poll, but I think we're leaning towards Nagaki for the next one.
Yeah.
Today's an elective day. Math? Gym? Well, we've already gotten more vitality and charisma. I guess we do math again. Balance.
Mm.
I mean... Oh... Dude, now Ku is asleep and Kazuaki fell asleep.
Mm.
Dude, Oko-san just needed a nap from all his running. That's what he does. Like, if you're like an elite runner, the hell do you need like advanced high school mathematics for?
That's true.
Just learn enough to know to calculate 15%, and you'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as you can do basic pre-algebra, I don't think you really need much more math in terms of life skills.
Yeah. Today is kind of better.
What happened to your mic?
Oh, did something happen? Am I hard to hear now?
You sound like Buckety.
Buckety.
Is that just me, or?
I don't know. Nothing happened. Nothing changed.
It sounds a way different. Hold on.
The only thing that changed was like my iPhone died, so I was like, I just gotta get my default webcam out, but that was it.
So your default webcam might have set that to its audio.
Huh?
So my webcam, if I don't turn off the audio on the webcam, it'll try to take its own audio.
I don't even think my webcam has it. Does it? How would I be able to even tell?
All I know is that your audio changed like 2 minutes ago.
Then fuck it, I'll be a PNG today. Let me just get me in a decent pose. Let me just fuck my ass. Okay, whatever. Okay, you know what? That's good enough.
What? Are you good?
Yeah, how do I sound now?
Okay, you sound like completely better.
Oh, okay, then it was the webcam. That's weird.
That's what I was saying. I was like, your voice was very different. I'll take that VTuber pose. I got rid of your old PNG on my OBS, so I was like, hopefully she leaves that up.
Yeah, this is fine.
Oh no!
It's just really focused on something down there.
Okay, yeah, you fixing it. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm surprised. Like we've at least had a couple lurkers. No one's commented on anything.
Um,
Are any
today
of
is
you?
kind of about. Hmm?
Well, hold on. Has
Okay.
because that's what I'm like. Part of my weird wondering. I'm gonna check live chat again. I want to double check because they've effied around with me at some point. Nope. Nope.
I will say,
Because
if you have it set to top chat instead of live chat, not every chat will go through for some reason.
well, that's why
So,
I'm double checking some of the chat stuff. Top chat, live chat. No, it doesn't
you
make a
know,
difference.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Not every stream's going to be like a huge hit. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I'm just confused because I was like, I mean, it's not. We've got 7 views. It's not like no
Yeah.
one's watching. I guess it's just some people don't really want to do this. It's not a. I don't. This isn't North Korea. I'm not gonna make anyone comment.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I would just say like it's interesting because maybe part of it is also like my Nuzlocke gets a lot more people talking
Yeah.
compared to because like this is usually someone will watch. There's not as much to say. We'll usually have like Jacelyn or because I've mispronounced before. I think it's Jacelyn. We'll have
Mm-hmm.
Jacelyn and then maybe if Faith is around, but usually a lot of people don't comment on these.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Once I grow,
Yeah.
because I've gotten more subscribers recently. My following is bigger on here now than it was on Twitch, and we've only done like 6 or 7 streams on YouTube now. So
Mm-hmm.
today is Tanabata. We're gonna
There's, yeah.
burbs.
Well, there's lots here already.
May mother stay healthy this year, and may my stomach get better.
Aw. And
Fucking
possibly Odin, yes, Purple Finger.
fucking LaBelle.
Suck my dick, LaBelle. That's what the S stands
Yeah.
for.
You can't do the mad love of Fallen Angel.
Yeah. Well, choose,
Be a famous
Roll-
artist.
yeah, be a famous artist.
I'm pretty sure we've chosen all of them at some point.
Yeah. I like to the color of the red with a die.
Oh yeah, we can skip all day.
Nothing else I got to boy.
We got, dude. What? Our charisma is just beast. Have we only done music
because
class once? Guess
yeah, because we got so many bitches, my dude.
Gym class.
Yeah, we're gonna go gym kitties.
A rock dove is wriggling about on the surface of the water, advancing near the forwards or backwards.
You can't swim real fast.
I'm doing my best. I'm gonna learn before I graduate.
You can do it.
Bitch,
Yeah, you
level
will
up.
do. Hell yeah.
So, one thing I will say, I
Mm-hmm.
can tread water sort of, but I'm not really a swimmer. But this is also partly because I don't do almost any physical activity at all, besides like manual labor. Like all of my activities always come from like walking, carrying shit around,
Yeah.
doing my job, and it doesn't actually help my body at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that part of it is like I have some like hormonal issues I need to address and everything, but like some of these people are just like I feel like certain metabolisms, like some people just kind of get gifted with that. It's like I don't know, I always kind of knew how to swim, and it's like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, maybe part of it is last time I tried I was probably skinny. Maybe because I'm more blubbery, maybe it would work better. I don't know. I feel like that's a bad excuse. Like swimmer bodies though usually like all pec with some decent legs and no body hair. They shaved. They don't want that drag.
Yeah. I know how to swim. I'm just not too crazy about swimming. You have to in the tile room next, right? Let's walk together.
Textile room. Sure.
Oh, that was an awfully unenthusiastic response. You don't look so good. Are you okay, Ryota?
I'm fine. Let's go.
You're not fine!
Yeah, it's my stomach. This happens all the time. There's nothing to worry about. I'll just go to the infirmary for a bit. Can you let the teacher know, please? Minor text issue. Can you make it there?
Or maybe it was intentional because he's a little sick. He's like, I
mean...
Can you make it there on your own?
Yeah, I can, thanks. See you in a bit. Sag. I felt that way a couple weeks ago. He never showed up for third period or fourth. This is the first time I've never been worried about Dr.
Oh no!
This is the first time I've never been worried about, like, Dr. Shu made me eat the bird or something.
Yeah,
Is he still in the infirmary? I'll go check on him after I eat lunch. Actually, no, he's going to the infirmary where Dr. Shu is. So that's kind of funny.
A bitch's marches on her stomach, after all.
Oh, hello.
You okay? You look even worse than you did earlier. What did Shu do to you?
I'm fine. Sitting around just makes it worse. Got some medicine from the doctor, but...
I'm not convinced that medicine is doing him any good. I wouldn't trust anything that doctor prescribed.
Neither would I.
Something's wrong if you go to the infirmary feeling sick and go home feeling even worse. Wait a minute, Ryota. I'm gonna go give that doctor a piece of my mind.
That might not be a good idea. Well, wait, bitches. It's not his fault. I just have a weak stomach.
I'm going to yell at the doctor.
Are we gonna...
Okay, save here first, okay? Because this could be like a... Can you save?
Oh, yeah, save. Hold on. Where's save function? Damn it! It doesn't give me an option.
Oh, God!
We could just yell at the doctor. I can get back here in like 5 minutes. We haven't done anything really big.
Okay.
We're gonna yell at the doctor.
That has nothing to do with it. I'll be back in a minute. Doctor Iwamine!
Barging in the door and shouting for the doctor is hardly acceptable practice. Shall I prepare a sedative for you?
No, thank you. I want to talk to you about Ryota.
Ryota? Oh, Mr. Kawara. Left some time ago.
He rested here for 2 hours and wasn't any better for it. You did something to him, didn't you?
Wouldn't it have been worse to do nothing to him? Doing things to people is my job, after all.
Well, yes, but... I mean something unnecessary.
I'm afraid I can't respond to complaints with no evidence. I examined his condition and provided him with the appropriate medicine. Beyond that, it's all down to how quickly his body recovers. You can't possibly be holding me responsible for his unhealthy nature, can you? Wah!
Oh. Really right, he doesn't have anything to do with Ryota's weak body. If you did something to him...
Please do send in a complaint. After you find evidence, of course.
You son of a bitch, I'll find the evidence. An evil smile flickers across his face for a moment and is gone. He did something to Ryota, didn't he?
I mean, it is possible that he did. I'm not gonna discount that. Yeah, fine.
Get around back there, my dude! You didn't do so badly.
I mean, there's only one ending, so I think we're gonna get his ending anyway. Oh no. Someone farted or something. Never mind. Probably if we stand up to him, it's probably gonna advance his story.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Never mind, yeah.
Maybe that's actually the I don't know. You both sound like a like any of them were supposed to maybe advance someone's story, but we're doing Ryota. It seems like we're getting a lot of his stuff.
Mm.
Oh hey, we're getting this is
Oh,
gonna
we're getting this is covered in your soul, kid.
yeah.
Yeah, we can skip past this. We can skip past it.
Carve it in your soul, kid.
Bah. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, faster, faster.
Should we do the part-time job? Because we
I
can
think
hand
it'll
him
be
off
good
to
to do the
Ryota.
part-time job, talk to Ryota, and then, like, abandon our job for him. I think that might
Well, that's
help.
what I was gonna say.
Uh,
Kenzaburo. We've
uh,
already done this before.
uh,
Excuse me. I saw the flyer at the station and
yeah.
bitches, what are you doing here? A friend of yours, Miss Bitches?
Oh, yes, this is Ryota. You came for the job too, Ryota?
Yeah, I saw that it starts at noon, so I thought I could fit it in after my other job. But if you've already got the position, then that's that.
Mr. Urashihara, could you use 2 people?
Sadly, my cage is too small to have that much work to do.
I should give Ryota the job.
Mr.
Mr.
Urashihara.
Urashihara?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you could take Ryota instead of me?
Bitches. I don't see why not, but...
I don't really need the job. Ryota does. Don't worry, he's a really hard worker.
Are you sure, bitches? It's not really fair to you.
I did feel a little bad leaving on my first day, but... Ryota works several jobs every summer to support his mother.
Maybe he's not just a 1-year-old.
Mr. Urashihara is a gentle bird, and Ryota deserves to be treated nicely. This is for the best. I know you'll do a good job, Ryota.
Thanks, bitches. Well done.
Always
Our encounter
thank
has
the
been as
bitches.
transient as Comet's tail on the horizon, but I'm glad I met you. Please do stop by. All will always be here, Mr. Bitches.
I will. Thank you, Mr. Urashihara.
The summer festival.
There's a local summer festival. We could
Well,
take Ryota.
Of course.
Of course.
Thanks for inviting me, bitches. Come on, let's go.
Any booths? I'm supposed to choose.
Easter hunter-gatherer instincts, bitches. Let's go find something to eat. I'll pay.
What? Not fair. I'm paying for yours.
It's a deal.
Yakitori sounds good right now.
See, what is yakitori? Is that like yakisoba sauce on chicken? Because it's like
forget,
tori's
it's
a bird.
Yeah, I feel like it's a real thing.
I know yakitori is a real thing, but I'm trying to remember what that is, because I'm like...
I mean, it could be a pun because bird in Japanese is tori. It's a type of skewered chicken. Oh my god!
That's what I was gonna say, like, I know yakisoba is like yaki and then the soba noodles are the soba, and I'm like, tori means bird, so I'm like, is it like yakisoba sauce on chicken?
Oh my god! Sounds good right about now. Oh, how into cannibalism are you in the mood for? I spent a happy evening with Ryota. He was really in the mood for cannibalism. Maybe we can go again next year. I love me some yakitori.
Let's not eat Yuya this year.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully this is a bird we don't know. Hi, new I slept away, blah blah blah.
This is the stupid storyline where it really only matters for Kazu. Well, it doesn't even matter at all, because it's like, oh wait, you're here a day early, stupid. Helpman or not.
I just pick whatever because I don't think it really matters.
Yeah,
whatever you want to do,
We
yeah.
don't get anything. I'm not gonna expect my man Ryota's coming to school with no purpose.
Eh.
Good morning. Go! Yep. LaBelle. Once summer's over, time starts slipping by faster than ever. Try to stay focused. I mean, it really does, because, like, the whole first... By the time you finish summer in this story, the story's really quick.
Yeah, it actually is. Focus, sir, focus!
Second term. Huh, is that? A
A
student
student ID? Whose is it? Someone from Tutu? I don't recognize his name.
This
Should I
is
go find
the-
their class? Yeah,
this is the random story.
Yeah.
This doesn't even matter at all, because, like...
Yeah, because we're not really
Yeah.
investigating disappearances or anything.
No, this is the basic story. I just don't like the math.
Sure, yeah, we could use some wisdom.
Sakuya. He's above math.
Yeah. The one thing we have in common.
Damn. I don't know. I feel like I always hated math, but I was always very grounded. Like because I don't know. I don't know if I told Chad about this. I know I'm pretty sure I've told you about this. I was homeschooled. Technically speaking, I was quote unquote behind in math in terms of what year I was on, but in terms of my understanding of the classes that I had passed, I was
Yeah.
good enough on the SAT to match people who are in like pre-calc.
So,
It was just kind of like a thing of like, I feel like once assuming you really understand math like well, because people just kind of get pushed through school. I think that it's not a big deal if you don't really learn algebra all that much. Hot take, but like, especially if you're not like in computer science or engineering or something like that, why the hell do you even need the math? Like, as long as you know how to do all of the different kinds of things in real life, like
I know.
Can you calculate percentages?
If I have a calculator.
I mean, but you know how to, right? Like, you just put
Yeah.
to calculate like 10% of something, you times and then 0.1.
Yeah.
And that's 10%. Or 0.10.
It actually kind of is funny, because, I was in advanced classes, which I really did not feel like I belonged there, because I was like, I'm a dummy. But, I really, like, math was the hardest subject for me. And it was very frustrating, because you get teachers that are like, when a student's like, can I use a calculator on the test? And they're like, do you think they'll let you use a calculator in the real world? It's like, yes.
Yeah, no. That's what's funny. It's like, all right, if The Walking Dead happens and we need someone who can do paper math, then we'll just ask the smart people. Otherwise, use the fucking like, I'm sorry, if you have to calculate like 4 plus 7, maybe it's not the best outcome, you know? You can't tell me 4 plus 7 equals 11. You only think about it for a few seconds. You're using your fingers. Maybe I'm a little bit unconfident, but like, calculators, like, once you actually show that you can do these things, just use a fucking calculator. Like, I don't do, like, I could multiply like 5-digit numbers by 6-digit numbers. I use a calculator because I don't have time for that shit. That's just like, I don't understand. Like, once you get to algebra, bring an arithmetic calculator into your test. It's not a big deal. Like, I never understood what the hell the problem. Like, even when I was doing calculus, like, certain things you'd have to really be good at programming your calculator in order to do. And if you figured out how to program a TI and to do calculus problems for you, then you deserve the credit anyway.
Yeah, when I was a senior in high school, I was taking pre-cal, and oh god, I did not understand a bit of that. And I had a teacher that got mad at people for asking questions, so you know my shy ass goes, I'm gonna ask nobody nothing.
No.
And so, I'll just go ahead and say it. The only reason I graduated was because I cheated on that test.
It's okay. Hey, bitches. Want to walk home together? Though if you're going somewhere else.
Two.
Yeah. The sun's going down already. I guess it's fall now.
The most elegant of seasons.
Yo, I'm so happy this year that for the first time I don't have like or I should say the first time in a long time where I didn't either A, have full-time college, or B, a full-time shitty job going into like the later seasons of the year.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I have effectively 3 part-time jobs if I don't count the streaming, because it's like maybe 6-7 hours a week. But like, I'm going to be able to like go on walks. I'm actually going to be able to enjoy the outside world. I never really got to do that like in a lot of these years, and I really miss like. I remember it was right after I got my eye surgery back in 2020, and it was like election day, and I had remembered that. I remember that day a lot because there were a lot of things I got together with a friend and everything. But one thing I liked is I went on like a seasonal fall walk in Virginia Beach when the weather's actually nice out, like early November, and it's just it's such a thing that like there are certain parts of the year that are ridiculously cold. But primarily in the places where I've lived, there are a lot of parts of the year where it's just unbelievably ungodly hot. Like, feels like 110 degrees hot. Because all the muggy and all the heat and all this stuff. Like, Virginia and eastern North Carolina are really shitty climates to be in from May to October. I mean, May to September. And so, like, I'm going to enjoy being able to go on a walk. I'm gonna be able to enjoy things because it's like enjoying the fall season is different. Like there's so many times when I feel like life kind of pulls you into itself, and I never really got to enjoy a lot of those because the worst times of the year to do anything were the sort of the fall months, like the best months of the year in Virginia Beach. There's some climates, right? Here's how it goes: New Year's to March is pretty dang cold. Like by the end of March, it starts to go from cold to cool, and then it starts getting springy in April. And then April and like maybe early May is actually okay weather, but by the time you get to May, it's really bad. So like there's effectively like 1 to 1.5 months of spring in Virginia Beach, and then like it just cooks. Like we had a lot of years where our AC didn't work quite well, and so we just cooked in the house. And like we as I said, we were the ingredients. That's what I mean. We just kind of sat there and all the muggy and the hot, and then by the time the fall comes around, it's like late September, it's still kind of hot. Then it goes into October, it gets really nice and cool, but then by like at a certain point in November, it gets so cold that if it ever rains, it's like yucky and wet and cold. And so it's unpleasant when it does that. But otherwise, like, it can get really cool. Like, I remember this one time where it was just, like, really icy and around Thanksgiving out in Chesapeake, which is, like, the neighboring city. And, like, there's so many times of the year that's not good in some of the places I live. But, like, the month of October and the month of April are both very nice months. I feel like people in those areas ought to enjoy some stuff during those months. But usually, if you're a college student, April's, like, the worst month. And also, if you're getting into a new year, October is when all the midterms are, and I've had a lot of cram sessions where I didn't really get to go doing anything fun for Halloween or doing anything nice for a lot of that time. Like, I would make myself sit and do things during Thanksgiving, like play some Pokemon or something with my brother, and then just go back to the yucky grind. I feel like maybe, especially when people are kids, it might be important to enjoy the nice times of the year, because the summer where I lived, I just never would go outside because it's so unbelievably disgustingly hellish. Like I feel like because when I moved south to Raleigh, the summer was actually kind of bearable, but in Virginia Beach it was just awful, and that's the time you get off. And like in during the winter months, there's a lot of time you get off, and unless you like really kind of yucky cold, it's not very fun. Like cold and rainy isn't all that great. So enjoy the pleasant times as they last. The most elegant of seasons. Hey, look, a swallow.
She does swallow, am I right? The most elegant of birds. Oh, there's its nest.
They're supposed to be done rearing chicks by the start of summer. I guess all the birds are changing now.
I guess so. The chicks are really small.
Just Charlie.
That reminds me of something from a long time ago.
Me too. Thank you, bitches.
When I was young, I saw Ryota freezing on the ground after falling out of his mother's nest. Shells breed all year round. No wonder they're everywhere. Damn, Ryota's a slut!
Whoa.
That was how we met, right? I found you flopping around in the dirt and carried you back up to your nest.
That's mean.
Thinking about it, if I hadn't walked by then, you'd be dead. You owe me your life and I'll be collecting soon. Though, you're still not exactly the healthiest bird around.
Yeah, thank you, bitches. If you hadn't found me then, I wouldn't be here now.
Always think the bitches.
I remember it as if it were yesterday. Ever since I've always loved your kindness and monkey tree climbing genes. And you're just the same as you were then. Never change, okay? What?
That's, like an anime girl laugh. Like, you know how anime girls laugh?
Alright. I don't know if it's that specific laugh. I expected the Charlie laugh when it's like you're very proud of you're very proud of yourself, like the yeah, that.
Today's a school festival. Our class decided to do a maid cafe. I'm not scheduled to work until tomorrow, so I have the day off. I don't have anything to do, so I guess I'll go look around. Where to go? Where to go? Let's see.
Bitches, wait.
Just like me, for real. What's up, Ryota?
Are you free right now? We got way more customers than we expected. We could really use another waitress. Another waitress, huh?
You're right. Where are they all coming from?
They all just wanted to see Ryota in a maid costume.
Honestly valid. Leave it to me, Ryota. I'll get them the taste of my secret maid technique. And so I never ended up looking around for the festival. Only maids now.
I bet Ryota was happy about that.
Yes.
Does Charlie have a maid outfit?
Yeah, Charlie has a maid outfit.
I mean, I guess we've already passed that, but...
She got a bunny maid outfit.
Ah.
I window shopped too much on the way home and the sun's already down. Yeah.
Dude, we're already almost at Halloween.
Oh, who's a cute girl handing out flyers? Real soccer, or is that just what you always wear?
No, this is my job.
What kind of job is that?
You're misunderstanding. It's just transvestite cafe.
Understandable.
Thank God for games before 2015. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not misunderstanding at all.
We need the money. Here, you take a flyer too.
I'll ask for you when I go there.
Find a better job. I would have said that if I wasn't trying to romance Ryota.
I'll make sure to ask for you.
Thank you. I'll be waiting, bitches. Oh, and my name is Colleen, so address me with that.
Okay.
Colleen.
Colleen can take my man any day of the week.
Damn.
Colleen? Okay. Choline is my... See you later, bitches. Well, that works out because, like, as far as we know, you know, that wouldn't necessarily be misgendering because Ryota's not trans. So for him, this is just cross-dressing, right?
Alright. So, my understanding of transvestite... So, it's different than transgenderism. Transvestitism is a hobby. Often a lot of gay people have that hobby.
Okay.
Like RuPaul's Drag Race is transvestitism.
Okay, I didn't realize.
As opposed to, because like transvestite means that you garb yourself differently, like the opposite sex.
Yeah.
I'll tip you this, little lady. Like transgender is different. You believe you're the opposite gender of you. But yeah.
Okay. I want to walk home together?
Sorry, I need to go somewhere right now, maybe later.
Okay, is something wrong, Ryoto?
It's nothing, don't worry about it, bitches.
His smile is incredibly unconvincing.
I wonder if what I think might be happening in this arc.
But if he doesn't want me worrying about it won't do anybody any good. I'll just go to the arcade.
Do we even do the arcade in this game?
She just, like, it kind of always just time skips past the arcade every time we try to go. That was fun. I haven't played in a while. I should practice some new songs when I get back in the game. Huh? What's here? Why is he coming out of... the hospital? Ryoto, Ryu?
Bitches. I want to talk to you. Is now a good time?
Of course, what is it?
I mean, I feel like you picking bitches as your first name was a success in this episode.
Yes.
Well... Sorry, I'm not sure how to say this. So, there's two possibilities in my mind. The more likely possibility and the more dramatic possibility. The more likely possibility is his mom is not going along well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The more dramatic possibility is that Ryota is starting to have terminal issues, which would be very sad.
Yeah. Worse symptoms, yeah. Take your time, I'm not going anywhere.
Thanks. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was.
I'm like, ooh, I did not want to have a cry tonight. My mother isn't doing well. She never was very healthy. She did always used to catch colds.
She did used to always catch colds in the winter.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, even though doves are supposed to fare better in the cold than in the heat. She's been getting worse since the end of September. After a certain point, I couldn't take care of her on my own. So she's in the hospital now. That's expensive.
Yeah? And that's where you've been going after school? I hope she gets better soon, Ryota.
She won't.
She won't? He's crying.
This is already sad enough. Sorry for holding you up, bitches. See you.
He fled into the night.
Aw, man.
I get our finals back today!
Fuck the finals. Go away.
Such a wild change of pace.
Oh no.
Somebody sent me a text message. It's from Ryota. Meet me in the park at 7 p.m.
Merry Christmas Eve, I guess.
Yeah. What's going on? I hope it isn't something bad.
Given the tone of this game, I don't think we can count on a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. Ryota, I hope I didn't keep you waiting.
Nope. Sorry for dragging you out like this, bitches.
What is it? Is your mother okay?
Yeah, she's fine now, thanks. She said, "You're old enough already. Go spend the day with someone important," and wouldn't let me back into her room. Going home was too lonely, so I thought maybe if I talked with you, I'd feel a little better.
So you called me? Do you feel better?
Yep. Thank you.
Well, then my job is done. Goodbye.
Oh, sorry. Sitting out here on Christmas Eve is kind of sad. Want to go somewhere?
I don't mind, Ryota. Anywhere's fine with you. So Ryota and I spend the evening sitting together in the park.
They do have decent music. They've got like a very quaint version of Silent Night.
Yeah.
It
It wasn't very Christmassy, but I didn't mind.
It wasn't the kind of thing like I didn't expect, but I'm just kind of usually impressed by this game.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Happy New Year!
Wow, that is a very different
Yeah, it's usually sunny on New Year. We go see Ryota at his job.
damn,
At the shrine.
But it's raining.
But it's raining. Oh well. I'd go to the shrine, but this weather makes little moons dangerous. I think I'll be a good girl and go to sleep. I won't be able to send cards out in this rain either. Fiddlesticks.
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 Was this was originally a Japanese game, right?
I have no idea.
The transition team, man, or the translation team, I mean, Fiddlesticks, man.
Yeah, I think it might have been Japanese. I could be wrong.
Happy New Year! What a shocker.
They're still hibernating, sir!
Oh. I've said this before, but your junior year will be over before you know it. Let's enjoy this time while it lasts. Do you wanna go do the boopity boop 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 research on Ryota's bean preference?
Yeah, I'll research.
I'm just gonna find text with Ryota in it.
Yeah.
Third term. I do like the rock dove pigeon kind of like aesthetic. This might involve Ryota, so I'll let you. Actually, no. This is the Legumentian, so I'll look. It's still light out, so maybe I'll go somewhere before I hit home. Tomorrow's Legumentines, yeah.
Okay, Ryota likes calm corn.
I'll let you get back.
Yes, is there anything that is particularly good?
This year's trend is towards these bean lemons for racers, but they are a little pricey.
That's true. Sometimes cheap ramen tastes better than the expensive stuff. I think I'll buy calm corn. I'll take these.
Thank you, Miss. Here you are.
And I didn't even pay the
So many
clerk.
of the birds love a little bitter black beans.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
The preparations are complete. Ryota, wait!
Huh?
Do you have a minute?
Sure, what's up?
Here, popcorn for Legumentines.
Whoa, thanks, bitches. Are you sure? I love these. They're really good.
It said they were easy on bird stomachs, so I thought you might...
Actually, you know what's funny?
Yeah?
My understanding of corn is it's literally bird feed. Like, that's the main purpose of corn. Like, I remember seeing documentaries where it's like, yeah, this is maybe not to be good for the cow's stomach. Kind of just a grain that's, like, full of empty carbs for us. But corn's good for birds.
I know sometimes it's tough, but I like being around you and helping you, Ryota.
Thank you, bitches. That makes me real happy. You like udon, right? Let me take you out sometime.
Okay! You seem happy. Yay!
Then we get the final convo, right? Tests are over and there's nothing else to do but wait for spring break. This semester really was over before I know it. That's outside, it's cold. They need to do something. Oh wait, fuck. This is all your dialogue.
That aside, it's cold. I need to do something about the temperature in my house before I get sick. Will you live in a cave? Huh? Don't send me a text message.
This might be bad.
In the park. Come quick. Ryota? Ryota's huddled on a bench where we usually meet. Ryota, what's... crying? No! It's still cold out, Ryota. You'll catch a cold without a coat on.
Right. Hey, bitches. My mother died today. Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
I can't find words. I had a feeling this conversation would come, but I don't know what to say.
She was a dove, but she always got sick when it was cold. That's not right. That isn't supposed to happen.
Ryota,
I'm alone now, bitches.
you still have me, don't you?
She said the same thing at the end. Rely on bitches. Let her rely on you.
Always rely on bitches.
I'm sorry, that's not... It's supposed to be an emotional ending. Rely on bitches.
My mom's last words to me were rely on the bitches, Ryota.
I can't... Thank you for saving this dialogue, Charlie. That's excellent.
I knew it had to be funny.
But I think that would be irresponsible of me. I love you, bitches. More than anyone else now.
I love you too, Ryota.
But how can I say this? My mother was weak, but it's not as if she had a short life for a dove. So...
What are you trying to say, Ryota?
If you were to marry me, I'd die much sooner than you.
What?
We're different species. We have different lifespans too. That's nature. But knowing that from the start, knowing that I would end up dying leaving you alone, it just seems too irresponsible.
That doesn't matter. Even if we can't be together, I love you, Ryota. I want to be with you until the end.
I know what it feels like to be left alone now. I don't want to make you feel this pain, bitches. I think we should go our separate ways.
No, we won't. That's what life is, Ryota. It's unfair, painful, and sometimes it seems like nothing good will ever happen. But fighting on, following our urge to seek happiness anyway, that's what makes us alive. That's how our ancestors lived and died and evolved, and that's what brought us to where we are now.
But birds weren't meant to come this far. We've advanced more than we were ever meant to.
Doesn't matter. Ryota, I love you. I want to be with you as long as I can, even if it's just for a little while. I think you want to be with me too. Where's the problem?
Bitches. I'm not as healthy or strong as you are. I'm not smart or handsome or rich. But I'm happy. Thank you.
You don't have to think about it so much, Ryota. We can worry about the future when it comes, right?
Right. I don't think I'll have calmed down for a while yet, but I'm glad I was born. If only because I got to be with you. It's like a miracle. Thank you.
We have to part with everyone eventually. It comes a little early than it's life. I don't care for how long it is. I'm happy enough just being with Ryota. But as you can live, Ryota. Live as long as you can so that you can carry wonderful memories with you when you return to the sky. Oh, that was a filthy one.
Oh, that was tough.
I'm so glad I named her bitches.
I know. I was like, it cut the mood a little bit because it was like this is starting to hit as hard as the teacher.
Yeah. My
This
mother's
one's
last word to me was rely on the bitches.
while it lasts. This is this is like it's more predictable than the teacher ending, but it's so sad in its own way.
Oh, yeah.
It's very deep.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's sadder when you know it's coming, you know?
Yeah. While it lasts, get Ryota's ending number 1.
Yeah.
We got Nagaki in 2. We got 2 Sakiyas, 1 Oko-san, or the extra Oko-san ending. We got the extra Shu ending, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we got the second Shu ending, the first Oko ending, I guess. So we got Angel. We got both of the side endings. 14, and then I can't remember what 14 is supposed to be. We're supposed to do all 14 endings before we do like the very weird story.
Like next we'll do
next we're gonna do Nagaki next, right?
Yeah, next. We'll do Nagaki next, yeah.
What's the archive gonna be? Did we get anything new? Maybe 7 is new. Carry Aptitude.
I think that's it.
We have examined the genetic records of the entire student body. None of them exceed 98% compatibility. We're continuing to investigate carrier aptitude levels. We're reporting the possibility of including a carrier capability in a normal individual next week. Really get into that, but we got the fire one. Reference bird deceased. I think we already had that. Homo sapiens. Like we've got like legit more than half of those.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we're putting the pieces together, yo. There's so many of these good story endings. I mean, we already kind of had a lot of the Ryota stuff going on, but we kind of fulfilled his story ending. Then we get Nagaki. Then we're gonna have to do assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like we're doing a pretty good job. Like we only died during the Angel one, really.
But in fairness, who could predict that there was gonna be a boss battle?
We died a couple of the times that were important. Like we learned the Angel storyline existed from trying to do Yuya early, and then diverting ourselves. But anyway, this is a fun. Like this is legitimately one of the best games that I've played that I didn't even think was gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, by this point, I'm already impressed. Like this is like an 8 or 9 out of 10 game.
Yeah. There's so much to it. Like every story you go down to, it's just amazing. I think.
Yeah, I mean it's
who knows?
It's not a great like. The only thing I was like, maybe we shouldn't have done Ryota because I was already feeling like depressed about death today.
Yeah.
We've already had see what was it? We had we had I don't want to say it's not Warren, but Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I liked his restaurant a lot, even though his music was kind of like old person in Florida type music. But I also the thing with the Smash Mouth is kind of depressing, because Jimmy Buffett was old. Other guy was like 54, 56.
Yeah.
He could have had a couple more decades.
I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, because I'm not positive. But I think I heard like a Smash Mouth guy. He struggled with alcoholism ever since like his baby died of leukemia or something.
Oh man, I didn't know all the backstory.
Yeah. Again, I just heard that somewhere, so like I'm not. I would have to research that myself, but that's what I heard.
I mean, yeah, that's a big deal. That's
Mm.
the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that can really wreck you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's sage. But we had a good stream tonight. I think we
Hmm.
worked we were able to work through our problems. Maybe it was apt that we had a sad story.
Yeah, yeah. But bitches got us through it, okay? Bitches
Exactly.
never let us down.
Bitches never let us down. It was good. We didn't have a whole lot of chatting, but I was maybe too chatty about adaptations. I guess Scooby
Yeah,
Doo, which could have been done well. We got One Piece that was done
yeah.
well. We got we got our own we're our own set of all stars.
Yeah.
We got Charlie, who's currently a disabled PNG right now.
I'm very focused on something that I'm looking down at.
I know. I'm looking at you. And I'm like, it's not bad, but
You know?
I'd see. This is the thing with my webcam, and so I had to figure out issues. Like, I had that problem where it's like it automatically connected to web audio, and I'm like, what's wrong with my audio? And it's like, oh, there's a different source. So
Yeah.
your webcam must change the audio innately when you connect, because
Huh.
you don't normally have it connected anymore because you're using iPhone.
Uh-uh. Yeah, because I use the iPhone, but my iPhone died. Because I didn't have it fully charged beforehand, and that was my fault.
Nah, it's all good. My phone isn't really
um,
charged, so I'm reading comments right now, but I'm on like 5% battery life. Well, I it's funny because we don't have comments, but I had it on here in case we had comments because I can't see.
yeah,
Hatoful takes up the whole screen, so I can't really read
yeah,
comments on screen like I do during Bull Block or anything like that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had a really good stream. I think this is good.
Yeah,
Anyone lurking? Because I know there's at least one or two lurkers, maybe more in chat.
yeah.
Any final comments? Any Ryota love out there? We loved Ryota. He was a good bird.
Yeah.
He's
You're the
so
best boy.
actually since we're doing this assessment, Charlie. New ranking. What's your ranking for birds?
Okay, from best to worst?
Oh, hi Rebecca. It's
Hmm.
okay. So sorry you missed tonight. I mean, like I'm not worried if not everyone makes every stream. It's not like it's not going to crush my soul. And so as long as you eventually came, I'm happy.
Hmm. It's
I'm
all good.
happy.
It's all good. Everybody got a thing to do sometimes. But yeah, I definitely think like once we're done with Hatoful Boyfriend, like once we've done every story, we should like maybe make like a Hatoful Boyfriend tier list episode. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
the epilogue, our own epilogue
Yeah.
where we do tier list. So if no, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. We'll forgive you this once.
We'll forgive you. So recaps. We had Ryota. His backstory. I mean, you could have watched the whole stream, but effectively, like we already kind of knew almost all the Ryota stuff. Most of his dialogue wasn't all that amazing. It was general lovey
Yeah.
dovey. No pun intended.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
until about like the fall, where it's like, oh, my mom's in the hospital. It's like, oh, that's sad, and it's like, oh, mom's getting better. Merry Christmas. I got to spend Christmas Eve with you, and then after Leggy Mentines, it was like, oh, hey, she didn't make it after all,
She
and
died, and her last words were "Rely on the bitches."
well, we named our pro tag bitches, and the last words of his mom were, you should rely on bitches to help you, and and it was just like
Yo, bitches never failed me before.
yeah, you can give input. Hello, Jacelyn. You can give us input to be considered in the tier list. Like if we make an official Hatoful Boyfriend tier list, we'll do that on stream.
Yeah.
We can consider stuff.
Hmm.
I do find it funny is like we get everyone here in the epilogue. I feel like we should have something else since everyone just happened to hop in.
Yeah, yeah.
Please accept my humble apology, and it's okay.
It's
I'm
okay.
I'm happy. I mean, if you guys leave likes,
Hmm.
I know for a fact that all three of you are subbed, we have more
Yeah.
subs now than we did like the last time I had a stream. Even I think we went from 17 to
Yeah.
18. We're almost at drunk stream. Next by Friday I could have drunk stream again. Although Nuzlocke drunk might be bad since I did Nuzlocke not really even tipsy and I accidentally killed the purloin without catching it, but oh well. I mean, but like no, we have stream tonight was good. I'll be frank though. We spent like the first 20 minutes of it just kind of hashing and
Just,
sing a song to say
talking
farewell.
about.
Um,
Oh
I
God, what was? Oh, okay, I
do you
know.
know Margaritaville?
Margaritaville? I was
The
thinking
only
we'd do like Blue's Clues, be like, oh, now it's time for so long. But we'll
oh no no
sing
no
just one more song.
no like I mean we could do that, but I don't. So Charlie is our resident general singer. And given the recent passings, that was kind of why like I sort of alluded to people. I was like, today was kind of depressing because I learned that Jimmy Buffett passed away. Like I think it was either yesterday or the day before. But the the whole thing. I mean, I usually I screw up his name. I don't want to screw up his name. Friggin' because his name is kind of like average sounding, and I'm like I know it's not a we don't have alliteration. It's not Chris Cornell, but it's like
Yeah,
what's it?
yeah. Blue's Clues does rule.
Steve Harwell. That's the lead singer of
Yeah, yeah.
Smash Mouth. Hopefully, he's walking on the sun. I'll be talking to my friends. You might have a few extra viewers on the Pokemon stream. No sound promises, though. I mean,
Thank you.
I love it because I get to complain about Generation. Since we're doing Pokemon Black for the Charlie that may or may not know. Um, she usually streams with Waifu on Fridays, so she can't usually watch that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's the one where I complain, I bitch and moan about the generic ass Pokemon, and I didn't even care that Purloin is literally a cat. Cats are my favorite animals. I literally didn't care that I killed it because I feel meh. Even though Purloin is actually not even a bad design, it's one of the okay ones. It's just that whole generation has the yuckies. There are only a few Pokemon that I really love. It's like Larvesta, Litwick, Ponyard, Scraggy. Scraggy's adorable. Have you ever seen Scraggy?
That sounds familiar, Scraggy.
It's the one that has like it's got like the pants that are kind of like baggy, and it's pulling it up, and it's like the little yellow guy.
Seen that one? Yeah, I know that guy.
I like Scraggy. You can do Blue's voice. See, Blue's rolls. I mean, I can't do Blue's voice. I don't know if Charlie's got the better sound range probably for that.
I can sometimes do it. It's all very. I can do it right now. Fuck.
It's okay. Bob Barker.
Bob
No,
Barker
I
died.
saw that one too. The price is wrong, bitch. Oh yeah, it wasn't that was for me it's Snivy, Zoro, and Reshiram are probably the most memorable. I mean Zoro is an awesome design and so isn't Reshiram. Reshiram was one of my favorite legendaries from that gen. But like overall, like a lot of the important Pokemon in that game are really good. It's just like the meat and potatoes of the game is full of like the Blitzels and the Drillburs and the Woobats and the Purloins and the Patrats and the Lillipup. Even though some people like Lillipup, and I'm pretty sure Charlie would like Lillipup too, but to me it's kind of just a dog. I mean, to be fair, it's a normal type, but it's kind of like the just a dog. It's like it's not.
Yeah,
A bad
I like
design.
Lillipup.
It's not a bad design. For me, it loses me once it gets to Stoutland because like Herdier is the middle evolution. It kind of it's like the closest Pokemon I would say to like a Luca because it's got some of the vibes, but
It's got the squiggle
for
face.
anyone who doesn't know, Luca is Charlie's best friend, the loyal loyal dog.
My doggo.
But yeah, like so the thing about Hatoful Boyfriend, I'll say about Ryota is that he is a very solid, rounded character. He's definitely not the best. As I explained with Oko-san, Oko-san is the flavor character. He's Is he a good character?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. Maybe not. Is he like a likable character? Maybe not even then. He's definitely an interesting
Yeah,
character. He's the flavor guy. Then we got
yeah, yeah.
Ryota, who's like he's the solid meat and like he's the backbone of this game. Bye bye Miss American Pie. Driving Chevy to the levee with a levee try. Who sang that one?
Oh, I know that song. I know that song. I
Oh no,
know
that's
that
Green
song.
Day. That's Green Day, isn't it?
No,
I no.
you're thinking about American Idiot. American Pie.
Maybe I'm thinking of it.
Don McLean. Hmm.
Oh okay. Huh. I don't know. What was I thinking? Maybe I'm thinking American Idiot.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of American Idiot.
Man. Well, anyway, American Pie. I recognize the song. I just was wrong about this because it doesn't even sound like I'm thinking about it. It doesn't quite sound like Green Day necessarily. Not Green Day. Look, I'm all right. Green Day is very like I'd put Green
Oh,
Day
but you
under.
canceled.
I look at me canceled. Yeah, Charlie got it. See, Charlie. All right. So both me and Charlie were thinking. Well, we were talking about this earlier before stream and a little bit during stream. Here's something I'd like to bring up. It does feel a little bit depressing now that I think about it. How many of the artists I listen to are all dead? And I'm not young, or I'm not old. I'm fairly young still. I'm 25. Charlie's 26. Most of the
25,
music.
actually. I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25. No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. You're older than me, but not a
yeah, yeah.
year,
My
not a
birthday's
full
in
year.
December.
That's true. You're like 25 and changey.
Yeah, yeah.
It's based on the airplane. American Pie was based on
Oh,
the
yeah.
airplane crash? There's no way. Really?
Hmm.
I wouldn't have even gotten that from the song.
But yeah, a lot of the music I listen to is like Elvis Presley, Patsy Cline, stuff like that. So
That's
like
fair.
whenever I'm pretty used to the fact of like artists I listen to being like dead. It's like
Well,
don't
okay. Here's where I'll say this is like there's a lot of music I listen to. I don't listen to Patsy Cline really, but I listen to like Elvis
yeah,
Presley and Johnny Cash. Sometimes
yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Sinatra might creep in. I'm not as big into Frank
Mhm.
Sinatra, but like
I love
those kind
Frank
of
Sinatra.
oldies, and then the kind of
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Buddy Holly era, that 50s kind of vibe. I listen to a lot of those. There's a few I listen to that are like 60s bands. A lot of these people are dead.
Yeah,
Like I'm pretty sure like I mean the Beatles are kind of in most people's playlists, but I'm not that into it.
yeah.
Like half the
Yeah.
Beatles are dead, half of them are alive. The
Yeah, yeah.
Monkees I think are about the same. Half of them are dead, half of them are alive.
Mhm.
But then it's like, all right, Chris Cornell was not going to be all that old. This was a death
Yeah,
by
yeah. That's true. That's true.
possibly despair, possibly conspiracy. I'm not gonna get into that. The
Mm.
Cranberry Lincoln Park
Yeah,
Chris Cornell stuff. They're all like
yeah, yeah.
I mean I didn't really listen to the Cranberries, but Chris Cornell and what was his name? We just said it earlier from Lincoln Park.
Chester.
Yeah, Chester. That guy. The both of them they're dead, and I listen to their music quite often. Quite often.
Yeah,
And so like all this stuff is like I'm like thank God of like I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not at least the even the at least there's no Jeremying yet. There's nothing like that. There's so many artists that I love that are like they're not even really like they're barely middle aged.
yeah. Mm.
They're not of that old era, but so many of them are dead now. And that's kind of was like
I
Smash
mean,
Mouth hit me hard because it was like he should not have. Yeah, his Chris Cornell's death was rough. I remember that and I was sad
yeah.
because two of my favorite songs of all time are Soundgarden, and there's a lot of just rough as you get into it. Like obviously
Yeah, yeah.
there's the 90s rock.
Yeah.
Most of them are like half of the big ones are all dead definitely because like you have
Yeah.
oh why isn't it coming to me? Frickin' the famous one. Yeah, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper all died in the plane crash, and American Pie was written about that night. Oh yeah, see, I would have thought that because I remember that plane crash was a huge deal, That was
Mm.
one of the worst plane crashes for like the music industry and entertainment and everything of all time. Because they were all
Um.
very big artists in their own right. They were taking a plane together. That's a sad, but like '50s music, that's part of the issue. All of the people from the '50s died very early too. Johnny Cash was the only
Yeah.
one who kind of stuck around, and that's why he has a lot
Yeah.
of good music. But like Elvis Presley, he made it to maybe what his '40s or '50s.
Um. Yeah, he was
He died in the
relatively young.
'70s.
Yeah, he died in the 70s. Um.
Kurt Cobain. That's what I was. Sorry, Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain.
that's yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain.
I
He
will
died when
say.
he was 27, and it was like sus.
Oh yeah, it's sus as shit. I think it was his
Um.
girlfriend, but
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
um, so like, well, I have the different sus. Did I ever? I don't know if I ever. So this is like a.
Yeah.
I don't.
Elvis was 42.
Yeah, Elvis was super young, so I don't know if I've
Um.
ever explained this on stream or anything like that. 43
Mm.
hit me hard when Chris Cornell died. I grew up listening to Audio Slave and Remix of Music.
Mm. Like with most celebrities, like cause
Wait,
you know some. Oh, you go ahead.
Was Cornell a part of Audio Slave? I knew there's
Mm.
Soundgarden, but because then that would make three of my favorite songs of all time. That would have been insane. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah. Linkin Park. Linkin Park. Like I said, I listen to at least 10 of their songs on a regular basis. That's one of my favorite like me era, like 2000s rock era bands. But
Mm.
anyway, no, yeah, like so Chris Cornell, Chester from Linkin Park, and the lead singer of the Cranberries all died within relatively short
Mm.
fashion. But they were all a part of like back like 5 or 6 years ago. They were all a part of. He was the lead singer for both Audioslave and Soundgarden. That's really sad. So I can add that
Mm.
to the list because I didn't really like Audioslave. I liked, but I only knew like two of their songs, and one of them was Like a Stone, which is probably one of the best '90s alt rock. But
Yeah. Yeah.
like so many of those artists, so those three artists I said in particular, they all died in this relatively same amount of time,
Mm.
theoretically either from overdoses or unalive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
the issue at hand was that all three of them were involved in trying to uncover a lot of the Hollywood the child market.
Yeah. Yeah. I think isn't that the thing with Chester? Was like he was.
Yeah, Chester, I think especially was a part of that, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
because I all I remember is that like I know there were certain people that were more so involved. Like Corey Feldman was someone who's a very big advocate of uncovering, like digging the dirt. Not a lot of
Yeah.
people advocate for digging the dirt when it comes to Hollywood, which I don't understand because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like I don't give a rat's ass about most of those people. But
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my phone died, so you're gonna have to read.
Okay. I will. I will.
Actually,
But
wait. We're not on
hmm?
Hatoful anymore. I don't have to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We don't have to watch Hatoful no more.
Yeah, but
Um. Yeah. Yeah. They. Look, I'm not saying they did or didn't, but it's
yeah,
entirely possible that they got Epstein.
yeah.
But
They may have dug too deep and got Clinton, Jacelyn. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
They say
It's
Clinton. I don't know that it's even necessarily that. It's the Epstein treatment.
Yeah. Yeah. They got Epstein. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Don't come for me, Clinton. But yeah. It's definitely interesting. Like, have you noticed? There's this thing called the 27 Club because it's ridiculously common for like artists to die at 27. Amy
Yeah,
Winehouse and Kurt Cobain are in the 27 Club,
yeah, yeah.
and
The thing that's rough. So like I sort of have three general eras of music that I listen to. So
mm,
I have like my '90s into 2000s where a lot of these people are dead now.
yeah,
But then I'll like my
yeah, yeah,
oldies stuff is like they're all dead because they're old. Like there's no
yeah,
way like eventually these people have to die. Like if they were around during the
yeah,
50s or 60s, there's a good chance they aren't
yeah,
around anymore. So I understand that. When it comes to a lot of the when it comes to a lot of the '90s people, it's just like it's gut wrenching because like when it comes to something like
yeah,
when it comes to Kurt Cobain, it's hard
yeah, yeah,
because Nirvana, they weren't by any means my favorite band. I would even say that
Yeah,
they're possibly overrated. But there's a lot of really good music that could have come out of that guy had he not
yeah,
like been dead. And so I mean
yeah,
you
yeah.
have I believe his drummer is was the lead singer of Foo Fighters or not, is either a
Aw,
drummer or singer for Foo Fighters.
I didn't
And
know that.
Foo Fighters is maybe not like, they're all right, but I mean they have good music too. I'm not gonna pick on them, but there's so
Hmm.
many good artists that like, because they're gone, and I mean like they're obviously, some of them were out of their heyday, but Linkin Park made a lot of bangers.
Yeah, yeah.
There was just a lot of really good stuff. Like it's
Mm,
sad because there's things that didn't happen. It's like the Robin Williams problem is like, he was still really
yeah,
relevant, and as sad as his death is, it's even worse because he's no longer going to be around to do anything.
yeah, yeah.
And so like
And
I
then we
was
have our. Oh, you go ahead.
so it's like I was looking into like a lot of recent stuff, and it's like there's been a few years recently, like last year, there were a lot of people who died, and it was very sad because they were like major figures, but they were old. Like, I like Queen Elizabeth, I like Pope Benedict. They were in their like mid to late 90s. It's not
Yo.
like, as much as I like both of those people, they were well past like, as sad as I'll be when Jimmy Carter is probably gonna die this year. He's 99. It's very
I was
different. It is so very different when it's someone who's like 50.
I was livid that the Grim Reaper did not give Betty White just one more month.
I know Betty White was 18 days short. She was 18 days
Yeah,
short. I was really sad when that happened.
yeah, she was so close.
But it's it's sad because like there are a lot of people that I think are like amazing, and it's like
Hmm.
their death should be their time of death should be a celebration of their life. Like I said with
Yeah,
Queen
yeah,
Elizabeth II, she was old.
yeah, yeah.
Pope Benedict, like, it's sad. Part of why his death was sad is because of the direction of the church under Pope Francis, and not even as much of like Pope Benedict himself. He was 95, I think, when he died. He was an
Yeah.
old man, but when it comes to, oh, Charlie, after Boy in the Box and the other ones you're planning, would you consider looking at Kurt Cobain?
I actually would consider. I usually like to look into vintage cases because whenever it comes to like more current cases, I don't
There
want
are
to like
people
up
that exist
like
that are like,
yeah that are affected by it, and like
well,
I
because
don't want to
okay,
like
so like
offend any.
even if Cobain isn't around, even if you don't like his girlfriend, there are a bunch of family members, and even
Yeah,
though like we're probably not going to be reaching tens of thousands of people with this, but like I
yeah,
understand what you're saying. It's
yeah. I just don't want to risk like upsetting like anybody's family or anything. Anybody that's trying to like
yeah, Betty White was
just
really
move on.
talented.
However, I definitely because there's some suspicious shit about his death. I definitely think that's worth looking into.
Yeah. No, I mean it's the hard part about all this stuff, and that's why I'm like it gets sadder for me because when it's sus, it's rough, but
Hmm.
also like just it's like a it's a time it's a tough time. It's a tough time. I
Yeah,
feel like for a lot of these people, like there are a lot of people who just got their torches snuffed. Like you have accidents and things like with Kobe Bryant and his daughter. That was really really tragic. You have things like
yeah,
Chadwick Boseman. He was just really really sick and super tragic.
yeah, yeah,
And there's all these things that have happened recently. Like during COVID, when I looked up a lot of celebrities because I was looking up recent deaths, it was all
yeah.
people who were like COVID death age or young suicide age. It wasn't cool.
Mm,
Like there's a lot of people who really shouldn't have died in the recent past who are no longer with us, and it's just a tough time. Like
yeah, yeah.
I feel like maybe now more than ever is like I can get like relatively depressed sometimes, but I think there's a different level of agony that a lot of people may be going through that they just don't
Oh,
express.
yeah,
And certain things like obviously with Kurt Cobain, that guy's got a riddled life. I think with
yeah, yeah.
is Axl Rose still alive
Is he?
from Guns N' Roses? I think because he's
Yeah,
also a person who had a really really hard life and upbringing.
Yeah,
Definitely,
he's still alive. He's 61.
yeah. Just be careful not to allude to whatever theory being true instead of just talking about it respectfully. Yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll talk. If we were talking about a conspiracy theory, we're gonna do it in a
Yeah.
smart way and not make it sound crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I am one of those people that actually do think like Tupac might possibly be alive, but
Well,
it's
that's a case. You want to look at a case, the Tupac
yeah,
Biggie case. Well, I mean they're
yeah,
both
yeah,
separate, but it's sort of the same general.
yeah, yeah. It's like
But
yeah,
that's actually another good point because like I don't like rap music, but that's well I don't like
mm,
most rap music, but it's there's a lot of people in that general age range that either they've died recently or they died back in the '90s and everything. And it's part of like Michael
mm,
Jackson. He died very early.
yeah,
You have a lot of people like I would go through if I went through my Spotify playlists and just like didn't
mm,
like I ignored all the Japanese and anime music and stuff like that,
mm,
all the nerd stuff. All of my music is like 50-50 alive dead.
yeah, yeah. I feel
And
like my music type is like I'll listen to like literally anything, rap, metal. It's like all over the place.
yeah,
It's like I could be listening to fucking Rob Zombie 1 minute and then Frank Sinatra the next. That's where
that's
I'm
fair.
at.
I mean my playlist if I bounced around, I would go from like Elvis
Mm,
to like the modern heavy metal to like 90s alternative
mm,
rock to like a random Beatles song that I happen to just like to
mm.
like a random anime song.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
my playlists aren't as all over the place, but yeah,
And then there's people like Marilyn Monroe whose death could have been like literally so many different things. Like it is wild.
yeah. I mean, Marilyn Monroe was in a she associated with some people who may or may not have been
Yeah.
heavier target. I mean, like nothing bad ever
Yeah.
happens to the Kennedys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we get stuck with Ted forever, but the my favorite Kennedys all got assassinated. That's the problem I have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
anyway,
might
the
go into that case too, the Kennedy assassination.
oh well, I mean, I'm actually because I'm starting a podcast soon. I'm going to have a 60th anniversary special on JFK.
Ah,
So maybe I'll make it extra longer and have other people and maybe I'll collabby.
cool, cool.
I do really like Kennedy. I don't like the way so certain things are dismissed in a way that I don't necessarily appreciate because there's a lot of
Mm,
questionable things where like the moon
yeah,
landing it either did or didn't happen. It's just like do you believe it was faked on a set or do you believe it was
uh,
real? And I think almost
it's
everyone kind
yeah,
of believes it was real, which is
yeah. It's
fine.
also one of those things where like I think it's fun to not believe in the moon landing just because it's fun. Um, that's basically it.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where it's like, let's say we didn't. So what? It doesn't change anything in our
Well, that's
lives.
funny because it's like the whole deal about the moon landing.
Hmm.
The idea was for posterity, right? It wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily about whether or not we landed on the moon at that time. It
Yeah,
was
yeah. We
mainly
were just
for
like in
winning
a
the
race
space
with
race.
Russia. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was a lot of like that. Actually, it was sort of a fulfillment for the '60s. Like Kennedy said, by the end of the decade, we're going to put a man on the moon. Guess what happened?
Yeah.
We managed
And
to do it.
yeah, it's kind of like the same like flat earthers. It's like they're so passionate about it, but let's say the earth is flat. Who gives a shit?
Well, if the Earth is flat, it doesn't actually change reality. But I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
there's any realistic way to believe that the Earth is flat. I
Hmm.
think that sometimes you get certain theories conflated with others. Like I'm not going to link the JFK assassination to the ridiculous crap
Hmm.
about 9/11 inside job. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
because what it would take. So here's the thing: there was extensive political corruption during that time in the '60s.
Mhm.
There was a lot of people like JFK was a anti-communist um, person in a party where that was somewhat like a touchy subject, and in a
Yeah,
world
yeah.
where that was a touchy subject, and you had a lot of people who didn't like him. You had a lot of people who did. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
he ran one of the closest presidential races in history. There were so many different things. He probably shouldn't have gone to Texas. That was kind of an
Yeah.
L, but I mean there's a lot of stuff to unpack with that one. With it when it comes to 9/11, it's like, do you
Mhm.
believe that there are a lot of really really bad actors within the American like military and government? Because
Yes.
it's like, well, okay. What I mean by that is like, do you believe that there are like very very odious people who actively seek the destruction of our nation on a large scale and would be willing to commit mass murder and cover it up, doing all that stuff? It's like, I don't. It's not as though I would say that we can't assume that it could be possible. It's just that it's a very different implication than did we actually land on the moon or not. If it doesn't really make a difference
Yeah.
if we did, but the 9/11
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
like,
So many people's lives were affected.
yeah. I mean, that's like most people have a 9/11 story. Like a lot of major people. Like, I mean, I know that my dad knew someone who was on one of the planes that died. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of extensive spread and everything that happened because of 9/11. It was the cause of the entire next 20 years of foreign policies. A lot of people have said there's a lot of things with that. Whereas the moon landing, if we faked it, oh well, like whatever.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of awful things that happened with space travel already, and the moon landing had no issues. We didn't see anyone die from that. It's not a huge
Yeah,
deal. Whereas like the JFK assassination, there's a lot to unpack. With the 9/11 one, there's a lot to unpack. The moon landing one's kind of a fun theory, I guess, but I don't know.
yeah.
George Reeves
It's
Superman. Oh, I remember that one. The old Superman was found dead in his bed with a
yeah.
gunshot up his head. Quickly ruled to suicide. His family paid an
Oh yeah,
investigator
that
for
is a
the.
sussy one. I remember that one.
I feel like I want to say I saw that one on BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Yeah, that was on BuzzFeed Unsolved, one of the last seasons.
I I generally don't make a whole point of caring that much about the Hollywoody stuff, but if it's
Yeah,
someone I care about, like, I guess it's just it's weird because that's such an old case, but it is an interesting one because it's like it's
yeah,
one of those classic. It's a very classic unsolved case. It's got all those elements there.
yeah,
It's a western. It's a the elites of society. It's a whodunit. Brian
yeah.
Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jimmy Morrison, Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain,
yeah.
Amy Winehouse.
People from the 27
Oh yeah,
Club.
okay. So Jimi Hendrix died at
Yeah.
27.
Yeah, yeah.
Janis Joplin died at 27. Well, no offense, but I'll make a statement that's gonna piss a few people off. We didn't miss any good music, but I'm sad for Janis Joplin.
Out there.
I just don't like Janis Joplin songs. But no, like, yeah, Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison, Brian Jones.
Yeah,
I've see I'm not as well versed in some of that because all a lot of those people are from I know Janice and Kurt. I mean Janice and Kurt. Janice and Jimi Hendrix. They're both from the olden days of the Burning Man's
mm,
back when it was cool and not cringe.
yeah,
Noted. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to people. I don't know Janis Joplin.
yeah.
She might have been an excellent lady. I just didn't like her singing.
Slander.
Slander.
Absolute slander.
It's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's the perfect storm of the stuff that I wouldn't like. It reminds me of
Mm.
country without being country. You need to look into Lee Harvey Oswald separately because that's a ton to unpack as well. See, Lee Harvey
Mm.
Oswald had his own assassination.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He wound up
Leave her.
dead.
Yeah. That
He
there's so much with the like that case, like all together, so much different things. It's wild.
oh, and my least
I
favorite talking point ever. Oh, Lee Harvey Oswald. It doesn't matter who actually pulled the trigger. There's all of the theories pretty much revolve around one of like a couple people pulling the trigger.
mm,
It was who orchestrated it.
yeah, yeah.
That was the investigation. That was the whole point of everything. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter if Lee Harvey Oswald was the individual who shot JFK.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's a lot of there's it's put to bed. He was a communist. He was crazy. He shot him.
Yeah, yeah.
Put this one to bed. Over and done. Like very trying to
It's
oversimplify a very complex case.
it's
And
also
yeah.
did you like it's also too like the word communist even to this day, like a lot of people are like very scared of that word in America. So if you say a
Well,
communist in it, they get like
the United Soviet Socialist Republics, communist, is a little bit different
Uh,
than some of the,
uh,
like USSR is its own allegiance. Like you
um,
have Marxist ideology practiced by Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini in different ways.
mm,
There's too many different ways to parse all that out. But yeah, no, I think because like at that time, communist was almost exclusively associated with Russian. I mean, I know
yes.
there were issues in Korea and Vietnam and in Cuba and stuff like that during those times, but the main thing was like the Ruskies.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's also the belief that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated by the government.
Yep,
Yes, yes. Which,
they're
if I remember correctly, there is some credible stuff to that theory.
well, part of it is because a lot of people got shot, and
Yeah,
if you're a
yeah.
political figure who got shot, then there's
Mm,
a lot of questions around that.
mm,
Like we're probably never really gonna get into like there were some cases that were called settled very quickly. Like the both so I believe James Garfield and William McKinley were both assassinated, but that was well over 100 years ago. And both of
mm.
those there weren't as many things to do about it. But Abraham Lincoln was sort of the person of interest from back then when the assassinations happened. They didn't start having a lot more assassinations until the 60s because
Yeah,
King, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, and JFK, at least naming a few. I think there were more political assassinations in America during that time. Even you
yeah.
also had the mob. You also had a lot of like there were so many different organizations. I mean that's why the whole that's why the Tupac Shakur Biggie Smalls thing's a big deal. Is what 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 groups of people did they get associated with? Who had targets? Who had bounties on them? Who knows? A lot of the
Mm,
sketchy stuff. Like could be Suge Knight.
yeah.
That's the everyone's favorite theory. Hi Faith. Hope you
Uh,
had fun in your stream. No, it's cool. It's like everyone showed up for the after party. It's all good.
yeah, yeah.
We're just
Once we
talking.
finished the game, everybody showed up.
Well, I did send like when I talked to people earlier, I was like, hey, this is a weird day, but I'll do stream. We're gonna
Mm,
have fun. And then that
mm,
was sad anyway because we had the Ryota ending. It was like this is the second sad
yeah,
ending we've
yeah.
had. I didn't expect it as hard as it was.
Mm.
MLK was bringing the
Luckily,
nation together, and that threatened those in power from being able to control it. I kind of believe that. Yeah, I mean that's my general
mm,
opinion is a non-divided nation and a free nation are kind of the enemy of almost everyone in the political class. So
yeah, yeah. There's also just some fun stuff like Frank Sinatra's son being kidnapped. You'll know about that?
I did not know about that.
Alright, I think it was because Frank Sinatra had ties to the mafia.
Everyone had ties to the
His,
mafia.
yeah. So his son was kidnapped and released 2 days later after Frank Sinatra just paid the ransom.
Hmm.
Um, it was $240,000, which is the equivalent to now being like two. Well, that's a lot of zeros. Um, is that million?
Two hundred and 40,000. I mean, this was in the '60s, right?
Yeah, yeah. This was 63.
So I'm imagining a multiple of about five. So
Uh,
it's probably somewhere in the 1 million range.
yeah. It's like let me.
Because
Oh,
1980s dollars now are like $3.50.
yeah. So it was fuck. It was but
How many commas?
let me just I'll just send it to you.
Cool. I'm gonna look at it.
What was that number?
Oh, okay, yeah, 2.29 million.
Hmm.
So, that's a lot of money.
That was a lot
That is
more.
a heavy ass ransom. That's like a luxury mansion in like Raleigh.
I mean, Frank Sinatra was really successful, so I
Yeah,
guess
the
80s
80s was
was
so
so
good,
good.
man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
80s. Where did the
They had
80s
some
come
good
from?
music. They have JoJo. They
Dude, the 80s did have JoJo.
Yeah.
Alright, so the 80s kind of started a lot of really good things.
Yeah.
Nintendo happened, JoJo happened, Dragon Ball happened.
Yeah.
There was a
That's
lot of
where.
underrated music in the 80s, but there's also a lot of music I didn't really
Yeah.
care for, but that's my opinion is like 80s is hit and miss on songs, but other people have a lot of different things about that.
Yeah. I like a lot of 80s music.
80s music is a different kind of thing. I've
Yeah.
recently so there's the band Flock of Seagulls, their main hit. um
Hmm.
I don't know if it's relevant because we got Bird Stream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's like a band who did like a hard rock heavy metal version of that song, and it was really good.
Mhm. And I will say
Robotech.
nothing as far
Robotech.
as music. Robotech?
That's an old. Isn't that Japanese? I always get confused. So
Oh, yeah.
70s and 80s things like that were kind of mainstream. Like Transformers was an anime,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's back when anime was hard to distinguish from like He-Man. Like, cause all right, so it's funny
Mhm.
because like the way that Japanese stuff started out, it sort of seems similar to other styles,
Mm,
but especially during like the late 80s, early 90s, it really changed
yeah.
stylistic, and it went into its own thing. I do get annoyed
Yeah.
whenever people try and make a cartoon and it looks like garbage Western stuff because it's like I came to Japan for anime, man. I didn't want Pokemon looking like Western style stuff. It's not my favorite.
I
I mean, that's some of my problems with Generation Five for some of the subsequent Pokemon. There's some interesting. That's a topic for a different stream though. I've got my own
But
Pokemon
yeah,
stream.
I will say I do believe that as far as music we've peaked. We can't go any higher
No, yeah.
because after No Cock Like Horse Cock came out, how do you top that? How do you top Horse Cock?
I mean, I'm not really sure.
Mm,
When did that come out? Not
I
that
don't know. Let me
I don't like that song as much as you do.
It's so great.
You and Skoggle like that song, and I just don't understand.
It's a beautiful song. It's art.
I suppose so.
um,
It's not as bad as Ram Ranch.
in 20. Okay, the earliest thing I found was 2015.
Yo,
Did it come out in 2015? Holy shit!
pretty much pretty much all of the music that came out after 2016 was yucky. Once I turned into an adult, all the
Yeah,
new music is gross, which is a thing that most people have happen. But like, I like stuff significantly older than me. I also like stuff that
yeah.
comes out now in other countries. I
No
mean,
Cock Like Horse Cock was 2015. Confirmed.
yeah, that sounds about right. After 2015, you couldn't really make anything fun anymore.
Yeah, shit.
Nothing very based. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
felt like we couldn't improve on music after the Four Kids One Piece rap. And then I heard Ben Shapiro's cover of WAP, and I was like, this is the peak of music.
yeah,
And then I
exactly.
heard No Cock Like Horse Cock, and I was like, this is as good as it gets, baby.
Yeah,
mm. Akira is an awesome anime. I love Akira.
I haven't never seen
Um,
Akira. That's like one of my like things of like you're
it's
not
so
a
good.
real weeb Austin, you fake. I
God.
modern music.
Yeah,
It is
I'm weird.
plastic. It's not
Mm,
fantastic.
yes, yes. Weird
Uh,
Al is great too.
Weird Al Yankovic. See,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like Weird Al Four Kids. Your move. Um, it's like Four Kids puts out all their anime openings, and then they're just like your move, and then like I got
Mm,
nothing. It is true though that like Four Kids of things they didn't know how to do, they could make an opening. They made better
yeah.
openings than half of the Funimation. Well, Funimation now just kind
Mm,
of sticks to like we're gonna go and just do the Japanese ones because it's not
yeah.
worth spending this
What?
money when we're gonna make one that people don't like as much.
Were you the one that I was talking about Four Kids, and when they did the fucking national
Yes,
anthem
the
4th of
national
July thing, and you're like, the what?
the what? Yeah, four kids national anthem 4th of July. Very cringe. We got
Yes,
Usopp,
yes.
Luffy, and Knuckles the Echidna singing the national anthem, but like not the good Usopp and Luffy, played by the good actors. Like, uh, when a non-classic song comes out, it stands out so well. There's some non-classic songs though that I just don't like. Poison, Metallica, AC/DC, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, all great 80s. Guns N' Roses is like
Yes,
Guns
yes.
N' Roses is kind of a tail end. Like AC/DC spanned multiple decades. The Guns N' Roses I felt like came out in like the late 80s, almost sort of like more defined the 90s, but yeah, still good.
Uh, yeah, those is good.
I like
Yes.
I actually so I'm kind of not into AC/DC and Poison as much. I like Metallica for some of their songs. I think of those, my favorite might be Guns N' Roses, but I might be
I
biased.
yeah. I love AC/DC and Guns N' Roses. They're great.
I mean, AC/DC, not gonna lie, even though I don't like the way that I don't like the lead singer's general way of doing his shrieky stuff. But the music is a
Oh.
lot better than Poison. I always felt like Poison was like a like the girl trying to be cool band.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. The Poison is like it never really got me in the same way. Metallica's good though. I like
Yeah.
they Metallica was like I feel like Metallica sort of influenced music the most maybe out of all of those.
Yeah, yeah.
That might be fair to say because a lot of the really deep like when alternative rock is stupid, it's not very good. When alternative rock is deep, that's when you get a lot of the really good stuff. And I feel like because
Hmm.
alternative didn't exist really in the 80s,
Yeah,
not in
yeah.
the same way. So I think that maybe Metallica may have influenced a lot of that. But for all I know, some of these people could be
Mm.
dead because I just learn things sometimes. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that person was not any alive anymore, and
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know.
Speaking speaking of the 80s, that reminds me because we was talking about celebrity deaths and stuff like that.
Oh, Guns N' Roses formed in '85.
Yeah,
What if
something like that.
Appetite for Destruction was like their big album? When did that come out? So what were you saying about the '80s?
Oh, I can't remember if they died in the 70s or 80s. But another case I'd really like to look into is Sid Vicious and Nancy.
Sid and Nancy.
Yeah, Sid and Nancy from the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Cause their
I'm
death was
sorry. I'm
kind of
sorry. This is
weird.
America. Do you mean Six Bullets?
Oh yeah, yeah, 6 bullets.
Yeah. JoJo's has got it like I don't mind the dub, but once you get to like part five, or even part
Uh,
four, just start watching
the
the
fucking
Japanese.
copyrights they have to do for the.
Well, because it's not as bad. Like Cool Ice is like one of the only ones that's like actually it's Vanilla Ice, but I can get past that one, and it's like
I love the
freaking part six. They finally got Limp Biscuit, and instead of
Yeah.
it's like in the manga, they call it Flaccid Pancake, and I was like, yes, that's the funniest rename I've ever heard. We gotta keep that. And then they're like,
My
Limp
favorite.
Brisket or something like that. I'm like, stupid.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite, which I'm not sure if they're gonna do it. I think this one's I forget which part it's in. I'm wanting to say it's in Stillborn Run. I could be wrong, but is a stand after AC/DC's Dirty Deeds, Dirt Done Cheap, and
Oh
it's like
yes.
atrocious acts at affordable prices.
Yeah, no, heinous acts at a reasonable price or something like that. That's yeah, D4 so D4C. That's Funny Valentines, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If I'm not mistaken. Funny like
yeah. I wanna.
everyone tells me that Steel Ball Run is like one of if not the best JoJo part and I'm like, "Well, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'll
started
believe you."
reading the manga, but I hadn't gotten far in it.
It was 1987. I named my first two lawn flamingos Sid Nancy. Yeah, Sid Nancy lawn
Yeah,
flamingos.
yeah,
Sid and Nancy
yeah.
are like
Another.
the quintessential like pairing couple that in
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah, I know they had a movie. I never watched it. I actually hope I actually should watch it because I would love to watch it. I love watching shit like that. Um, yeah, yeah. But their deaths were weird.
Yeah.
For those of you who may not be familiar, they did like a lot of drugs,
Yeah.
and Nancy was like once he sobered up, he realized like, oh, Nancy's dead. Like she was like stabbed,
Oh,
and it was with his knife or something, and he could not remember a damn thing from the night before. I'm
that's
like
scary.
strictly, yeah. I'm like strictly going off memory here, so this might not be like entirely factual. I'm just going off memory. But so he goes to jail, but he's like gets bailed out, and like um he ends up overdosing on drugs before there could be like a trial or like a proper investigation or something. And his mother found him the next morning. Uh However, I think I heard like somewhere like his mother was intentionally injected his son with a fatal dose of heroin
Oof.
because she was scared of him going to prison or something.
Oof. That's a screwed up. That's a screwed up.
Yeah, yeah.
I like I like a lot of these mysteries because I do get the I always get the impression because it seems to be in a lot of people's best interest to make a case closed whether or not is absolutely correct. What
Yeah, yeah.
it might not like when it comes to the Lizzie Borden one, the one I was passionate about. To me, it just seemed like the police wanted to cover for their own incompetence.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember when we were doing that stream, I remember because I was positive it was Lizzie Borden. And I was
I
like, we're going to
changed
make
your
this.
mind.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm going to do the stream. I'm going to talk about XYZ and why Lizzie did that shit. And then, like, I was like, holy shit. I don't think Lizzie did that shit.
There, because
She's innocent.
it's because like when you have people who've poured over a case so much, the general consensus always somehow comes back to
Mm.
except for in the case of OJ Simpson, which is
Um,
I think everyone at the time kind of understood that one.
yeah,
I think almost all consensus generally come back to nah, it's exactly how it was kind of done, and it's not what we think. It's like I don't know about that one. Like the Lizzie Borden one, most people say it's Lizzie
yeah.
Borden still, and I just don't like. I have a very hard time believing that.
That's
Having
because
seen,
we also concluded in that stream that you are the reincarnation of Lizzie Borden and you're trying to cover your tracks.
hey, look, I will neither conform nor deny that I am the reincarnation of Lizzie Borden. Just because both of us were born on the same day, in different years, and just
Mm,
because both of us lived in like the Fall River area in Massachusetts, and just because both of
uh-huh.
us are
Mm-hmm.
as we
Coincidence?
suspect she may have been a little bit antisocial, maybe a little on the spectrum and all that. We
Mm-hmm.
both
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie's innocent. Yeah.
Mm. That's likely story coming from Lizzie Borden herself.
Good night, Rebecca. That's crazy. Thanks for the
Oh,
awesome
good night.
outro. This is an
Mm.
outro. I
Yeah,
didn't know we did an
yeah.
outro, but that's cool.
Yeah,
Sitting on the dock of the
yeah.
bay singer, his father shot him in the back of the head while he's sitting on the dock by the bay. Which one?
Mm. Yeah. I think they're talking about the Lizzie Borden case. Wait, no. They
No,
couldn't because...
that wasn't the
Oh.
Lizzie Borden.
Yeah,
H.B.
yeah,
Warehouse.
cause that's an X
Yeah, because
attack.
I feel like it's weird because people talk about these things as like, yeah, I know where that is. That's like right over there. If you're
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Massachusetts, everyone lives in like. So have you've seen the shape of Massachusetts, right?
I believe so. I do know that like Lizzie Borden, like her house is like a tourist attraction, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
But the shape of
I'd love to go to her
Massachusetts,
house.
shape of Massachusetts. The western part of it is this giant box. No one lives there really. They've got that hook at the bottom that's Cape Cod. No one lives there really. Pretty much everyone lives in that like central area of Massachusetts, going from like southern New Hampshire all the way down to Rhode Island. that just
Mm-hmm.
giant strip where it's like Lizzie Borden. So that's like the southern Massachusetts, like the Plymouth area, New Bedford, and the Fall River. And so I lived for most of my early childhood life in the New Bedford and Fall River areas. I
No.
remember our house is a suburb of Fall River is where I actually used to live. So technically, but I mean everything was probably Fall River at that point. I don't know if they had like the because Swansea is like a very small town that might have actually been
Mm.
considered Fall River, but obviously like the Lizzie Borden house got built around, so it's like maybe a slightly less rural area. But anyway, I lived in the same town roughly.
Oh, Reading. That's who you were talking about.
Otis Redding,
Oh.
yeah, okay. I know that sounded familiar. I was just not sure because I was like, who was that?
Yeah,
I know that's not anyone we talked about.
yeah.
Yeah, I know you used to live near her house. I used to live in the general vicinity. Like I feel like if you've bounced around in Massachusetts enough, you kind of know where all that stuff is. But
Well,
but yeah, yeah. I don't know anything about them Hollywoods, but I know something about the everything that's named after Indian and British stuff.
I know a couple places here in Alabama um that are like allegedly haunted. Like there's like this I'm wanting to say it's like a little forest or something that has this like abandoned cabin.
Well,
Um
was that forest known for like hangings of any particular kind?
I don't know. It's just like word on the street is like there's a witch there or something. Like it has a lot
A
of I don't
witch?
know. Yeah, a
This
witch.
ain't Louisiana. You don't live in the bayou.
I don't, but there's a witch somewhere.
Last song Patsy Cline sang it was "I Fall to Pieces." That's not.
Yeah.
That is ill-timed.
Yeah, yeah. I love that song though. That's a bop.
A big
Well,
bop.
that is a good song. Yeah.
Anyway, I think our after party may have gone fairly well. We've got
Yeah.
some more viewers. I
Yeah.
I never like because
My
part of my problem. All right, so I do have to kind of apologize. I set up the little stream notification thingy, and I don't know if it notifies everyone when I do it, but like the pre-stream on YouTube is like I put a little thing usually about an hour or so beforehand, and it's like it's got the
mm,
time that I set. It has a thumbnail and everything. I've been working a little bit more on doing that correctly. I haven't really tried that hard on those, but I'm trying to
yeah.
have them out by like 7 p.m. hopefully, so that everyone knows. Because like I've had to change around schedules sometimes just because of like running a little late, and it's like all right, it needs to be like 30
Yeah.
minutes later. Charlie and I we usually start. I think we're probably good to generally start at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, but
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes it could be 8 well 8 her time, sometimes it could be 7 her time, I don't know. But either
Yeah.
way, you'll know by 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
Yeah.
I'll try and make those happen more. Head
Yeah. We
pat.
usually start at 7:30 my time.
So somehow it's like, wait, how did someone redeem? You give yourself a head pat.
Yes. Yes.
You're. Oh, by the way, Charlie is frozen because she had to
My
switch
phone
from
died.
her phone died before my phone died. Of course, our phones die on stream because I don't have a charger right next to me, and I use my phone to read chat usually because I'm not playing the game now. I can just read chat normal,
Oh,
but um, yeah, her phone
my.
died, so she switched to
Oh.
webcam, and the webcam came in with her built-in audio probably because she sounded like she was talking inside of like an echo bucket,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some
And
sort of
so now
iron
we were like,
bucket
you know
around her
what?
head.
Her being a PNG that's very focused on whatever's in the floor is the best. Is the best
Icon.
way to be.
Oh, ironic deaths are interesting to me. Sorry, no, you don't gotta be sorry. Ironic deaths are it's one of the spices of life, I guess. Good night. Good
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting.
But yeah,
Um.
I'll say we'll hold off on we'll hold off on a tier list until we end the series, which
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
have to figure out. That's part of why I padded this out. We're doing one per episode because I don't know what I want to do when we finish this.
Yeah.
But we'll do one stream after the end, and we'll do tier list, and we'll talk about all the burbs, and we'll get into the
Yeah. It's.
lore, and we'll do
Yeah.
all that
It's.
fun stuff. But for
Hell
now,
yeah.
Any last thoughts of Ryota?
I'm so hungry I could eat a bird.
Are you actually hungry?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, we'll head off stream for now. Hope you guys
Mm,
enjoyed. Have a good night. See you all next week.
yeah.
Well, for some of you, just see you on Friday probably. We'll do Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
catch
yeah.
'em all.